Welcome back to another edition of 13 Card Subject Change. Today, up is down, down is up, and the Minnesota Twins apparently spent money. I don't know if it's real or not. I won't know until the press conference. It's a weird day in sports, but anyway.
What, the Polad pocketbook is opening up?
The last 3 years, I think the Polads were kidnapped and replaced with someone who actually wants to spend money. I don't know what's going on, but it's weird. Minnesota sports are actually happy right now. It's a very strange world.
Yes, I know.
Speaking of which, Eric is finally on the show today along with everybody else. Eric has been very busy with stuff ready for DPW2. Eric, we will get to you in 1 second. Here at the show, we hate this part, but it's always the start because you want to end on a high note. God damn, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna push my way through it. Help me out here, boys. Scott Hall has passed away, Razor Ramon, after complications with hip surgery. Reports where he had fallen and broken the hip, and if anyone that's ever been in medical will tell you, when you're Scott's age and all the years of stuff he went through, when you break your hip, it's all downhill from there. So I don't know what was going to be the issue. 6 hours, though, reportedly on life support. Minimum is what he went on. So you can tell how much he was willing to still keep going for that.
Yeah, we got the news when we were recording it, and when I was just putting up the podcast, I sent out a live saying, hey, pray for him and everything. And then it was announced that he passed.
You got to feel, it's interesting. Obviously, there are his family and stuff like that, but God, you got to feel for a guy like Kevin Nash. I mean, I don't think there's a person. Kevin said it himself that there's not a person on this planet he spent more time with.
Basically, a brother.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think to Kevin and to people like Kevin, people like Scott were the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Yes.
To him.
Kevin put up something that I think is very unique to put up in this modern day. The last probably 10 years have not looked good for the guys that used to run the rails 300 days a year.
Well, for sure.
But
Definitely.
Kevin was right. It was a special time. And I think it's something that a lot of modern day fans, because of the internet, don't realize. And obviously, Jesse, you and I have talked about this in the show.
You fail to appreciate it.
Yeah. And I mean, you and I talked about this in the show 1,000 times. The modern day schedule is more conducive to the modern day athlete,
for sure,
and there's more money being made.
Right.
For a lot of these guys, they made $1 million probably in their career earnings,
right?
But now, guaranteed $1 million for a year to basically barely work sometimes 50 dates.
Or just the 250K to 500K is immense. Like I think
for training now, yeah.
I think about to say I think.
Would say $14.50 an hour to basically
I
wrestle.
I believe it averages $17.50 an hour to just go train with WWE when you sign that contract.
Not a bad gig.
So.
I just know. God, I love when it does that to me.
Yeah, right.
Little burps.
Yep.
Honestly, we could have lost him years ago before he found DDP. I mean, if it wasn't for him and Jake the Snake.
This is what people don't understand. The ladder match has been redone 1,000 times.
Yes.
I don't know anyone who still doesn't have it top 5 or at least top 10, the first one between him and Sean as Razor Ramon. I think, Jesse, was it because it was new? Was it because it was innovative? Or did they just know what the hell they were doing?
Interesting, that ladder match is so legendary, but I think it's legendary for some people for some reasons and legendary to others for other reasons.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the first one, that's for certain.
Was it the first in WWE?
I think it was the first in WWF.
I got some info on that
later.
Yeah. Because we had a little. I got a couple tidbits in day history today.
Perfect.
I got a little info on that. So
what I wanted to go through really quick,
please do.
His amazing accomplishments in pro wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I did say me. I mean, I grew up watching this guy.
I was gonna say
I saw him.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Leroy. Better athletic big man.
Awesome.
I
mean him, Scott Hall.
And for our resident Japanese stan, Jesse, New Japan would not have the ace if it were not for Scott Hall.
Well, because he did something that they weren't expecting him to do. He put over young Tanahashi back then, when Tanahashi was just kind of supposed to take a beat down.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Ace actually did put up a very touching tribute on Twitter and stuff. Actually, kind of came out, slowed down his music, came out and did the whole entrance as well.
Yeah.
Did the little toothpick. I mean, but Tanahashi's a class act. So
as I told Zach off camera, I have Mike before, and I mean, these get tough, and this is one of my toughest because I grew up watching him. I remember him coming as Razor Ramon going, oh, this is a bad guy, but oh my God, he was so damn cool.
Once again, Vince had a fascination with Scarface, and somebody just said, screw it, I'm going to make this work.
And he made it work, and
Jesse,
watching him in WCW,
all right,
it's
so
crazy.
As I try to grab up the title rings really quick. So he started in the NWA back in '84.
Yep.
He became. Let me try to just run through this real quick.
Was it Diamond Stud? I think was it.
Was
that him or was that his tag team partner?
Something dealing with that, and he worked with DDP. He also worked with Kurt Hennig back in AWA.
Yeah.
I think
he was a former NWA National Tag Team Champion.
Yep.
Also worked in the AWA, where he was also a tag team champion. A lot of his work, of course, early on was with the Arn Andersons of the world.
Yes.
Working down in Vern Gagne and stuff.
Right. I believe he worked with Miranda Gordy's father back in the day. By the way, it was kind of amazing as WWE's kind of going through a lot of those career highlights, and because they do an amazing job with video packages.
Nobody does a better video package. I don't know who does it over there, but
he didn't really age until the 90s.
This is true.
For guys that did a lot of hard living and a lot of traveling, like he looked basically the same until about 97.
Yeah.
Well, especially I love his quote when he was at Impact and saw, Kevin. It's like, so when did we stop dyeing our hair? Oh my God, I love that.
So of course, as we all know, in WWE, WWF, one of the most world-renowned Intercontinental Champions, doesn't look like he won the WWF Championship.
No,
I know
he has
Kevin
not.
Nash.
He was never a world champion,
Right.
and I know a lot of people have come out and said that was egregious, but love or hate Jim Cornette, when he was asked that question on the drive-thru, he was very clear that, and I think Scott would understand this more than most people.
Right.
Business is business.
Right.
When Scott was really a top guy, he was there when there were much bigger to top
Yes.
guys. I mean, I hate to say it, but the era hurt Scott's chances more so than even his antics.
When he was Intercontinental Champion, and having that great feud with Shawn Michaels. Hulk Hogan, I think, was still around a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, his buddy Kevin Nash, who they were insanely high on.
Shawn was
Giant
always
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really the land of the Giants back then.
But then even when he went to WCW, I think that Nash was probably the bigger of the two, name-wise. There was also
Hogan.
Hogan obviously was there.
Well, you got Hogan, you got Sting, you got Lex Luthor.
But the thing about it is that I think Scott's biggest problem had nothing to do with Scott or anything like that. It was the simple fact of just, ladies and gentlemen, the guy was not a sidekick, but a side character to some of the greatest names in the history of the business.
Right.
So, I mean, always on television, always someone who was there and very influential in things, and ultimately just a really super nice guy. And to see him be a part of that Jake the Snake documentary, to see what DDP was able to do for both of them at the same time.
Yeah. So I mean, and one of the biggest career highlights for Scott Hall was, of course, forming the NWO and being two of the first wrestlers to try to make sure that wrestlers got paid good money.
Yeah.
For years and years, unless you were a top guy like a Flair, like a Hogan, most of those guys got paid very, very badly.
I think that'll be the hallmark of Scott's legacy.
Right.
Is not just the fact that he was one of the 3 original NWO members, but it's paramount how he and Kevin changed the entire landscape of the pay scale and the living conditions,
which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so glad they did that.
Because you think about it for a long time there, Jesse. You've highlighted this a lot of even WCW's top stars that weren't NWO level, but like there were a lot of guys in that mid card who were on television weekly, but they were living like minor league baseball players.
Yeah, I mean,
for those of you that don't know,
in apartments.
For those of you that don't know. If you're in a minor league team,
they would literally share 2-bedroom apartments.
They would, right? Yeah.
With like 4 guys because none of them were making any good money.
Here's some context, though. For those people that don't realize, So Major League Baseball, private jets for the team. They get the best hotels in town. Guys, Correa's making like what $35 million a year.
Yeah, something like
3
that.
years. Minor league baseball players, it's a bus that they've rented out for 20 years. It's the cheapest motel in town. Some of the fields are literally in towns you've never heard of.
Yep.
And they're just sticking players there. So like Eric said, to echo that, that's probably Scott's biggest legacy. Ultimately, period, would be that, but obviously the fans know more about the in-ring stuff. But hey,
he's gonna be missed, man.
Oh my God.
On Monday, we got done with the show. Leroy was bringing it up to us, and we were all hoping for the best, but when Kevin announced that his family was going to take him off of life support, I just kind of knew. But unfortunately, I think we're going to get a lot more of these before the year's over.
No, it's gonna be a rough year.
And I'm not looking forward to it.
No.
But to Scott Hall's family, we're still thinking about you.
To quote the professor, Gene, he made the best point was, I know people were hoping and praying, and Leroy, when you posted that, fuck you. We're past a minute, but fuck you. That's what got me was you.
Sorry, Matt.
But Gene made a good point, and I think people also need to start remembering stuff like this. This might have been the best thing that happened, and I hate to say that, but folks, when you're on life support for that long after 3 heart attacks, his quality of life, I don't know what it would have been had he somehow pulled through. But to Razor Ramon, the bad guy, if there's a heel that'll live longer than Scott Hall's legacy, good luck finding it right now for someone that just kind of always played the same guy. Jesse, he took one of Vince's loves in the moment, and he made it become one of the greatest things that ever happened in this business. I know you always laugh about it, but I mean, he took a weird creative moment and just killed it.
Scott Hall is probably one of the most, now that we've lost him, I think people realize he really was one of the most underappreciated guys to ever step foot in the ring. So to Scott Hall, we're gonna miss you, brother.
Leroy,
and before I hit this,
yes,
gotta say one thing.
Please do.
Hey yo.
Please do.
Got to.
Hey yo.
All right, thank you for that. All right. So anyway, tough to transition from that, but we're gonna move in here. Eric, it is, I believe you posted this morning. We are 5 years removed from you originally coming up with 3 letters and putting them together.
5? I thought that was 7. Was I wrong?
That was 2017.
It was in 2017. Today
okay,
in
5 years.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Facebook.
Right.
God damn, I wouldn't be able to keep up with my own shit. Anyway, so Eric, obviously we highlighted the original one, which was a not even wild success. It was an absolutely blazing success.
Absolutely.
I think the buzz that you created was impressive.
Well, it's really not just me. I mean, it's you guys and it's the team.
Yeah.
It's the admins. It's everyone. It's honestly, it's like
Pandemic Pro Wrestling. I'm surprised you didn't just go with that. But,
I mean, and that was all Corey. I mean, that was really his baby and his idea, and as we keep going, it has less and less and less to do with me, and it's when you talk about the buzz that I've created.
Yeah.
It's the buzz that we have created.
Fair enough.
Well, and I think the greatest thing you did is you introduced all 3 of us to our favorite gal, Sierra.
Oh.
I really didn't know much about her, and then boom, seeing her. Oh my God.
Yeah, she's
awesome.
She's a gem.
She's
a gem.
The year that she was having before DPW1 was incredible.
Right.
But I would argue, and I am going to give you credit for this, whether you want it or not. She took off to everyone after DPW.
Honestly, it had nothing to. It would have happened you can't give me credit for that because it was in motion before DPW won.
She's been working her ass off.
Yeah, she's been fucking.
Oh, it's all on. She deserves 100% of that. But you introduced her in a way that
if
a lot of people.
I know where you're
going.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
But if anything,
yeah,
I'm a lucky son of a bitch because it worked out so well in my favor. Mm-hmm. So I mean, credit to her.
Yes.
For,
oh yeah, 100%.
For getting to that point,
mm-hmm.
and to the point where it rubbed off on DPW, and it made us successful.
True.
Like
true. I will say that.
I'll be completely candid. Like so Sierra was like the third person. Yeah, she was the third person originally booked for DPW1 in 2020.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And for some reason, we had never figured her into the world title. Well, not the world title, but the DPW title picture. And when I hired Alex Riley to start doing the creative and the general manager stuff, that was one of his big ideas to run with Sierra.
Not a hard decision to make when you look at her.
Not a hard decision. Not a hard decision at all. Because when he said it, I was like, why the fuck? Why didn't we originally? And we had so many people that. Well, not even so. If anything, I'm a dumbass when it comes to for real. Like that's why I want someone else to come in and do my job, so I can just focus on production and the social media and stuff. Because, like, I would have chosen someone else, and DPW honestly would probably have sucked. It would have just, DPW1 would have just ended on a.
I don't know about that because I've known you for a little while, and what I do know about you is you are one of the more creative minds. I mean, bringing Alex Riley in, I mean, was a stroke of genius. I still remember, when you came on here, you didn't we didn't announce it at that point because you guys put out the video, but you kind of told us about it, and I thought about it and I went, damn, that's brilliant. Because for those who don't know, Alex, of course, was a wrestler, but also worked behind the scenes a lot.
Still is.
It still is.
Yep. Still
he
is.
does.
But he even told us during his interview that punch card is eventually going to get run out. But,
Right.
But this is such a unique avenue for him.
That. But
it's all good.
But he's such a really good mind of understanding.
He's fucking brilliant.
How to promote young and up and coming wrestlers.
And that's really the vision that you had. Was you didn't want the same show that was going on in a bunch of other companies within the state and within the area,
which is of course no slight to them. But
it's not a slight to anyone. And in fact, I mean, for anyone who's been following DPW from day one, they'll know that we originally were. I'm not gonna. We were planning on standing on the shoulders of the kids from the academy.
Yeah.
And featuring those top local stars.
Right.
And not to get into the nitty gritty or the dramatic aspect of why they're not involved anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But it forced us to look at the entire landscape of DPW from a completely other perspective, and God bless all of those talents that we were originally going to book.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of them. I wish them nothing but the absolute best.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
of course.
But circumstance, the way that it is.
What a year to start a wrestling promotion. It probably didn't work. It probably wasn't the best, but damn, did it come out good.
Well, I mean, the pandemic. I mean, we there's no viable reason that we should exist right now.
That's actually fair.
With all of the shit that we've had to endure since we, because like we launched, I had the idea for DPW 5 years ago today, but we didn't launch until January 1st, 2020.
Right.
And in that 3-year period, I was working for Heavy on Wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
And building all of the relationships and building all of the knowledge that allows me to, to do DPW.
Right.
And it's just the timing of everything and like the synchronicity of like just I don't know. It's just
it was
it's
almost.
just crazy
Did it feel like a blessing in disguise in a small? Because you guys had to pull the show and had to put it off. The pandemic did it to all of us.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And all of a sudden, you found this perfect date. We were happy to come work the show. We get to the show, and I mean, the fans were great. The wrestling matches were phenomenal.
The vibe was
amazing.
As I've told the
GM,
as I've told the GM from Clyde, I still think that that Clyde Iron is a better venue than the Malt Building. Not that Heavy On didn't have a couple great shows there,
right.
Eric,
Oh, yeah.
but there's something about that
it almost feels like an old school pro wrestling arena.
Yeah.
So he does what you hate about NXT 2.0. The lights are down. The lights are down. So you're happy about that.
Which is just brilliant because otherwise it messes with my eyes.
But
go ahead.
As you guys know,
the
visual element and the production of everything is really. Like, if I'm being...
The word curtain to you just stings in your craw for the rest of your life.
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, that's why you're in charge of the curtains now.
Fair enough.
And then you probably throw it on my lap, too, for fun, probably.
For reference point, for context, February 2019 was my last show with Heavy on Wrestling.
That was the Halloween show.
Yep.
No. That was No Love Lost 2.
Oh, yeah,
that was
No Love Lost 2. Yeah.
And we went with like a different stage design, and I completely... How much can I swear?
As much as you'd like.
Okay.
You can swear as much as you want.
We are past the minute. YouTube doesn't care.
YouTube don't care anymore.
YouTube doesn't care.
And I don't care
only gonna care
either.
when Jesse gets his copyright struck for the
That's
music.
true.
So I messed up the curtains, and you could see backstage, and like Darren Corbin was just furious at me, and I felt so fucking terrible because I realized like 2 years later that all I really needed to do was just put them backward, put them back like 6 feet.
Yeah.
And that's what Darren was trying to tell me. He was like, just put and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was like panicking. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I just rushed home and just like fully clothed, just like stood in the shower and just like let the cold water.
The good old shame shower.
Yeah.
Hey,
been there.
No matter, we were there. That started me and Zach's journey in doing this podcast.
3 days later, you freaking told me at work you had podcast equipment. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Well,
I mentioned this to you once.
I'm an old stubborn man.
Apparently.
We did meet Dave.
We did, yep.
From MAW, which was great. And our lovely picture with the Godfather saying, hey, I just got a divorce. I need tickets for the whole train. He signed that son of it. I'm getting that framed. It'll be part of when we get the house and I get a studio because I still
running out of room.
Yeah.
I as a
the divorce sign's going to be framed in our studio, which is great.
No, we're not going to do that.
Getting into this show.
Yeah.
Before you do that,
go ahead.
Sorry, 1 second. The production shit. So as you guys know, if I'm being like 1,000% selfish and honest,
go for it.
The only reason I really started DPW was so I can make these cool trailers.
I do not blame you at all. I don't blame you at all.
Show,
go ahead.
Jesse, I know you want to, but this is technically part of my job, so I have to double check before we go anywhere else. You need extension cords?
Probably.
Okay, good.
I think he wanted to legally get that on the podcast, so he knows.
My father, God bless him, was not into giving out these extension cords because he paid about $200 per extension cord. But God bless my mother, who said, "We'll put some duct tape on them; it'll be fine."
Right.
So
for DPW 2,
yes,
as far as the production for that goes, we're actually we're adding about $1,000 in more equipment.
Oh wow, that's awesome!
Just to the production, or just to the entrance stage.
Wow.
So it's yeah.
All I heard is I got more work to do. But anyway, Jesse, go ahead.
So to get into DPW 2, great matches you guys have already booked.
Thank you.
So of course we have a triple threat for the #1 contendership: Valentina Loca, Jay Fowler, Alvin Gray, who by the way was amazing.
Isn't he just electric is the best way for me to describe it.
Natural charisma.
He was at his merch table, and I was like, I just want to see you motherfucker go.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like, I was into him at the merch table.
And Loca too, and Fowler.
Yeah.
But all three of them, we're really kind of looking at this as like a DPW championship eliminator kind of a match.
Okay.
Where all of these competitors are basically getting a second chance.
Right. Because she was in the first championship match, Valentina Loca.
Yep, Valentina was in the
it was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She
took a choke slam from Paul Burke. I hope she doesn't take again.
Oh my God, yeah. She's such a badass, and I'm really 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 excited to see how she fares against Fowler and Alvin Gray. I think that's going to be a tremendous clash of styles.
Oh, for sure.
And with the stakes involved, each of these competitors has something really really important to prove.
Yes.
Right.
And that's a shoot. Like, who knows if either of these three are going to come back at DPW 3,
right?
Yeah,
DPW 4,
right?
Like this one match. I mean, depending on how it goes, could be the beginning or the end of their DPW career.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's something unique. Is we're talking about putting Loca in the match. And we talked about Sierra being your champion. You really wanted to create a wrestling show.
Absolutely.
Nothing
a wrestling show.
Nothing against any other company that like sticks to certain standards of wrestling with divisions and this and that.
Sure.
You just wanted a pure wrestling show.
Absolutely.
And that was the point.
If we were all like, 10, 12, 11, 13 years, if we were kids doing a backyard wrestling promotion,
yes,
would we even have the forethought to separate divisions, or would we just want to play with not play with our friends, but I mean that sounds weird, but we'd want to play with our friends.
I'd be splashing Jesse off the roof. I just want to point this out right now.
Well,
Jesse knows that.
But see, I look at my
he's
kids.
catching it or not.
I'm hearing everything.
My kids at my mom's
he's
at
catching me off
grandma's
the roof.
have a buttload of WWE action figures they got from my brother, their uncle. They have male, females. They don't determine they mix and match. Whenever the girls are beating on the guys, I mean, they do everything right that, and they just do it because they like the people.
Absolutely,
they don't care about anything else.
I think incorporating divisions and separating by gender and shit like that. I mean, why? Some of the women.
Jesse's been on this train since he got on the show. So
the women at DPW, albeit so far there's only Sierra, Valentina, and Christina Von Eerie will be coming in at DPW 2.
Yeah,
but I guarantee you, all three of those women separately could fuck me up in a fight.
Oh yeah,
and all three of you.
Yes,
for sure.
Oh yes.
So why
100%.
Not even breaking a sweat, they could do that.
So why put them? Because let's be completely transparent.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's be completely honest. It doesn't matter if you're putting the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship in the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're subconsciously. It doesn't matter if it's in the main event. You're still subconsciously positioning it as a second tier championship.
In a sense.
And all of those women deserve better.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So
been on that train for many, many years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why you're not allowed within 500 feet of Connecticut state lines.
Probably not.
Or Florida, probably not.
Or definitely not the production truck when they show up. So
I am never taking you to a Raw. Allison always wants to go check the production truck. I'm like, not when Jesse's here.
But on the topic of women and their importance in professional wrestling and especially in DPW, I mean, our champion is a woman and
one of the best.
She's
in the business right now.
She's likely going to hold that championship for a long time.
She is something like when I watched that original championship match, and then because I got the chance to go back before the show, go find her OVW stuff and things of that nature, and it was great to kind of get the recording of the match.
Yeah.
As you know, my mom isn't the biggest pro wrestler. She knows, she supports me.
Because this was her first time.
Right. And so I got the
MAW
chance
show on Fight
to have her sit down with me to watch the match between her and Katia She's right there.
Marakova.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful name, but I'm terrible with pronouncements.
You are. You always have been.
But
A beautiful picture.
and she was absolutely amazed at Sierra's ability
Isn't-
because she
yeah.
hasn't watched wrestling with me in over a decade.
And,
Right, yeah.
And that was at MEW show
Right,
down
right,
in Rock,
right.
the one that me and Zach were at, and seeing it live too. Oh my!
And I told you
Wow,
afterwards,
she's
that was the
incredible.
match of the night, arguably, to
It
the
was.
crowd that was there.
right.
Yeah.
Here. And that's credit, obviously, to both women in there, but that's
Right.
credit for the fact that, again, the title that was in that moment was the title that you so elegantly presented here, and we
Yeah.
were like, God damn, that thing's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love
I said
that.
I even saw her down Women's Nation Sierra, and I
Yeah.
told her, I said, me and Zach were there. We thought you had the match on the night that night,
Oh,
and she's
yeah.
like, oh no. I'm like, no, trust me.
She's
Oh
so,
my God,
Forget
she's,
us, the crowd thought.
you were so into.
Jesse's
Oh my God,
mom.
yes.
She got mom's
You know-
approval. That's all you
Yeah.
need right
Yeah,
there.
right.
I don't know if you guys have gone back to watch the event on YouTube.
8 times.
but
Why?
We've done it a few times.
All Jesse does is watch wrestling in his spare time.
That's very true.
And hopefully
if-
read those books.
Oh, I'm,
So-
I'm getting there.
So if you go back and watch the event on YouTube, when her and Joey come out, I think it's in the it'd be the third segment of the
Yep.
show.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You can it's like the vibe just completely changes, and it reminds me almost of like when Taz would come out,
Yeah.
and
You-
like
you know,
the whole mood would just change.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
The song
and-
helps too. It's a wonderful
Yes.
classic
And-
rock song.
and Joey Avalon is literally a master
Yes, he is.
craftsman of professional wrestling content.
Yes, he is.
Oh yes.
And I think I went through that match and that segment and re-edited it 4 or 5 different times because I just
That's
love.
low for you. That's low for you.
Because I just love what he does, and like I was trying to capture that vibe change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, when she finally grabs the title
Yeah.
and she leaves the ring holding the championship in the air and giving everyone in the room the middle finger.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I was standing I was standing near like I don't know fuck where I was standing, but I was filming it on my
Yeah.
phone,
Yeah.
and I was just like, this is fucking better than anything that I could have imagined. Like anything that I could have written or booked or
Right.
or what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
I'm just so like I get chills literally to this day.
She's
thinking about it.
like I've talked about on this show. She's literally a superstar unto her own. That
She could walk on to like Raw or SmackDown
with,
right now.
It's
and
Raw,
Totally.
SmackDown, AEW.
But I will
and
say
the,
this-
the room feels that.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'll
like
say this.
she's the shit.
To
Like,
me, right now in her career,
And
because
Joey scares me for other reasons.
Oh,
It's
God.
but he's
The shovel.
But he's
he'll bury you for.
he'll literally bury me with that damn
Yes,
thing.
Oh, yeah.
he will.
But
He's a good dude, though.
he
Oh, there.
Yeah.
like you've said about him, like I've told people about him. Literally, let a promo engulf you, and then
Right.
you'll be so into booing Joey Avalon
Oh, God.
that you'll forget how good of a guy he is
Yep.
when you go
I'm
try
not
to
a
go
cat
get the
person.
signing.
He made me a cat person in a promo.
Yes. Yes.
That right there was impressive. And you know how I'm not just
Oh,
bringing it
yeah.
along.
Let's-
But
I truly just want to say
Yeah.
in regards to them, and then I have a fun announcement about TPW3.
Okay.
oh, okay, cool.
I got so fucking lucky to have Joey and Sierra come into this project, and I mean Joey referenced it in his promo. This is Raw's house. This is Discover Raw Wrestling. Like this is their house. Like
Right.
they have put this on their back. They are we're not booking like WWE legends,
No.
but our ticket sales, and God bless David Sabick
Yes.
for giving me the education to be able to do this, but our ticket sales are better than Heavy on Wrestling's were,
Yeah.
and that's a shoot.
That's
And-
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
awesome.
said I had a friend that he wanted to go. He goes, "What's this about this show?" I said, "You need to get tickets.
Yep.
There's no big names. It's everybody that's starting up, and they are going to kill that show."
Yep.
They were so impressed with that show. They were buzzing. We're going to the next one. They got their tickets. They are coming.
Now,
I think they're getting VIP
Jesse,
too.
But the reason that our ticket sales are that way is twofold. One, Sierra and Joey.
Yeah.
They sell our tickets, and I hope to God that they know that. And two is our team. Like, you guys are on this team.
Oh, thank you.
And
Appreciate that.
I mean, you know that. You know that.
I showed up at 7:30 with your breakfast. So the only thing he ate all day was literally a sandwich that I got from
By
McDonald's.
the way, which
was-
is just love.
Yeah.
that was awesome.
I'll remember that when I stop in. 'Cause I'm not going to be that early. I'll stop in. I'll make sure I have something for Eric to eat.
There was
I gotta make
Besides
sure
mom.
I gotta make sure the
Besides
wife's
his mom.
fed before I make. No
I don't
offense to
think-
him. I gotta make sure the wife's fed before he's fed.
yeah. I forget to
No,
eat. There was a hash brown included.
There was a
somewhere.
hash brown there. Yes.
But
Say,
yeah,
my girlfriend will come down later. I'll make sure she brings something for
Perfect,
you.
perfect.
And me too.
so as far as DPW3 goes and like where we're going with the company, if you look at the titles of our shows,
Right.
it's DPW1, The Warmth of Warfare.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, that conjures visions of like a giant battle and like
Right.
this forthcoming of this regime
Right.
or
Right.
Yeah.
and reduced to ash is like the fallout from
Right.
that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Right.
Oh yeah.
what happens after a war.
Yeah.
And so DPW3 is going to be called Empire of Dirt.
Ooh, I like
Oh
it.
my God. All right. Yeah. Half an hour in, we got that nice little.
Somebody called Johnny Cash's agent.
I like. So what's the name of it again?
DPW3 Empire of Dirt.
Oh, I love it.
Cannot wait for that. But I just thought of something, and I doubt you've thought of this at all. Mostly because, like you said, it's been booked for a while.
Right.
But what I want to give you credit for, and again, it's probably something you haven't thought of.
I fucking hate
Hold
that
on,
phrase.
hold on.
I want to give you credit. Fuck.
This is different though.
You can slap
right
him.
now,
It's all right.
Jesse,
I just never know how to
right
respond.
Now,
I'm like-
we've
Yeah.
highlighted
There we
on
go,
the show
yeah.
once or twice. Right now, there is something going on in the world, not of pro wrestling,
Right.
but just the world that is very out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are trying to change things to sort of match certain views of it.
Right.
Staying with Reduced to Ash, saying what you just did about what happens after a war, it does bring light to what is currently going on in the world, whether
For
you know
sure.
that or not.
For sure.
And also, I give you credit for, like I said, I have no issue with any business making any choice of what's going on in the world. But sticking to your guns, sticking to what you've done, and saying, I don't think we're harming anything by keeping the name Reduced to Ash.
Sure.
It's definitely something that I think is admirable to understand that you can give a vision of something, but much like how people will feel when the show goes on, Jesse
Right.
and Leroy, they can get that there's a name, but
Yeah.
but I think when the show's over, they're going to understand what you're trying to get at, which is there is a joyous ending to the idea of the Reduced to Ash because there is going to be this great show that people are going to see.
Sure.
You also have, very not so much rare, but you have a tag team match for the DPW championship.
So this thing is
Right,
interesting,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
mind me jumping into
yeah,
this.
yeah. Please,
Can I-
Jesse.
Go ahead.
I-
Go ahead.
In regards to that,
Yeah.
it's not lost on me at all
Yeah.
that our show titles and our the visuals for DPW1. So when we announced DPW1
Right.
in early 2020, January 2020, if you go back and look on Twitter, there was a lot of like World War III.
That was the first one that was
Right.
Yeah.
And so my business partner even at the time was like, we can't have a picture of an atomic bomb, and I understand that completely. Here's the thing. I truly understand, and I'm open to have conversations
Right.
about
Yeah.
how people are feeling about it, but I don't truly think that we are going to offend
No.
anyone
Right.
to the point where they think that I as a person somehow land on like the oppressive side
Right.
of
Yeah.
war.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
no, yeah, of course.
Like fuck Russia and
Yeah.
and Putin.
Mostly Putin.
And-
But yes.
right. Mostly Putin. I feel fucking terrible for a lot of the people in Russia.
Oh my God.
But I never want anything that we're doing at DPW to be reflected in a way that is somehow like emblematic of my carelessness
or it feels disrespectful.
Yeah,
right?
correctly.
Yeah.
I never want anything that we do to feel disrespectful.
Yeah.
With that in mind,
Yes.
I have a vision.
Yep.
And because like Putin is a can I say the C word? He's a
Sure.
Yeah, he's
Sure.
Go for it.
I mean, well, now I can't do it now. I'm nervous.
Just
I
say
already
it.
helped you. He's a cunt.
Thank you, Jesse.
My kids aren't listening. Don't worry.
It's fine.
But just because Putin's a
We're the only country in the world that cares about the word anyway.
right.
You go to Scotland, it's every other fucking word.
Just because Putin's a cunt.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
I'm not gonna completely redesign my thought process.
Right.
Because my thought process is how. I mean, I'm not.
I
look,
get what you mean. Basically, like
I'm not taking the war.
Yeah.
And,
No.
and like I booked these fucking names
Yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
no,
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not inspired by
Yeah, exactly.
attacking a sovereign fucking nation.
right.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
God bless the people of Ukraine. You know, I would never. And if anyone was ever genuinely offended by the names of our shows or whatever, call me. My number's 218-348-2997.
There you go.
There you go.
You can call me and I will listen to you and
Just
I
be
will
respectful.
Yeah,
I will-
that's
right.
all we ask.
I've always said when you launch complaints, be respectful.
Yeah.
Well, and before we move to to that title match, I do want to say this about that. I don't think anyone could ever blame a wrestling promoter or an artist of any kind for world events maybe making a name seem
Sure.
because it's just like there was a vision there that was never supposed to make you feel offended or anything like that.
No.
Never.
And don't let the actual world event make you think that those an artist is trying to do something to provocate. It's usually never the case.
Never the case.
Yeah.
My inspirations for these shows come from like the Marvel universe as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Well, we're both big nerds.
Oh yeah. Dude. I mean,
Yeah.
Reduced to Ash is derived from the Thanos line where he's in Endgame at the very
Yes.
beginning when he's talking
Yes.
about the Infinity Stones being reduced to atoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's fucking dope.
Jesse also wants
Oh,
a
yeah.
full graphic novel concept based on that thing you saw because you liked it. I think did you prefer the blue or the red to what they came out with?
The blue poster.
Yeah.
And so I saw the blue poster, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
What ideas can I pitch for them to kind of do like?
I should get you in touch with. Oh, so the guy that designed the
Yeah.
poster, his name is also Jesse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jesse Square
That's a
could have a
bonus.
graphic novel of DPW. I'm down.
Jesse Switters.
Oh, I know him.
Oh,
yeah, he works up at Office Depot.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He's a brilliant guy. So he pitched the idea to me of doing a pro wrestling comic book.
Ooh,
That's-
okay, yes.
That's centered around the world of
yeah,
DPW,
yeah.
and then having real life storylines and comic book storylines intertwine.
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
So you'd have to. So
See,
you'd
A
have
lot of
to
bands
read
are doing that now too, Jesse. Ice Nine Kills just
Oh,
put
yeah.
out one based on their
So like you,
second
so the
last
point
record.
would be like you have to pick up the next comic before,
Right.
like between DPW 3 and 4. Like you have to pick up the comic
Right.
to like know what's gonna happen.
To understand the world of DPW
Right,
and
yeah.
the stories.
Which I
love
think
that.
is absolutely brilliant. Jesse, you wanted to get into this main event for a couple weeks now. so-
Sorry.
No,
no,
it's fine.
it-
It's fine.
I
it's
just
great.
said
Yeah, it's
I need to
fantastic.
get some DGW merch so I can add it to my
Oh
my
yeah.
collect. I need
I
to
don't-
add it.
Honestly,
Oh.
I don't know if we're gonna have T-shirts at this show, which I feel really bad about. But
Well, I got a T-shirt on the first one, so I'm cool, man.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But I definitely have to get one of those posters and put it somewhere in here
Yeah.
yeah, I
because
can-
it has to.
Oh,
Or we can
it's
take a-
definitely
or
going
we
to
can
go
take
with
a
there.
picture and
You're
frame
good.
it.
Yeah, I'll get you like an actual like 23-inch like a
Oh, I'm
Like,
down
oh
for
my
this.
God.
Oh, I'm down for
like
this.
a real like you go into the theater and you see those
Yeah.
movie posters.
Shit, it's going to go right in front of the window.
Hell yeah.
We don't need the window.
We
We're
don't.
fine.
Just that one. We need that one.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly.
But yeah, this main event is crazy.
So, what an interesting concept.
Fuck, right?
Oh, my God.
I heard that too, and I was like, "What?"
So when Alex put out this video and announced this,
Can I point something out before you go?
Go
on?
ahead.
Alex is a goddamn, like, he was made to be on a wrestling camera.
Yeah.
He really
Yes.
was.
He is so made for promos. It is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he's like the most handsome person.
He really is
in the
very
fucking
good looking.
world.
He is a handsome man. Yes.
I feel bad standing
When
next to him.
I
Let's
saw
put
him in
that-
person, that's what I told him. Like, you're a very good looking man. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that.
I saw a picture of myself, Brian Sager, and Alex Riley when we were like standing.
Yeah.
And I was like talking to the fans, and I was
Yeah.
like, "God damn, I'm ugly."
Well, it's not that you're ugly, but those two pillars of beautiful men. Brian
Yeah.
Sager, for those who don't know, also announcer, also does booking and stuff for MAW. They're just very handsome men.
Yes.
It's not even fair, to be honest.
I had to sit next to the guy for the entire show at Turtle Lake. So you know what?
So this concept
I love the guy.
of
There's so many different ways that it could
Oh,
man,
like,
because it
there's no way to predict how it's gonna. I don't
No.
even fucking know how it's gonna go down.
it's crazy because it's just like she can either lose the title by being pinned or Joey can lose the title by being pinned.
Yep.
I'm like, that is a hell of a concept.
Right, so-
or pinned or submitted.
Yeah.
Got to do that in there.
Yep. Yeah. The title,
Which, by the way, to be fair to Alex, and I'm sure Joey will hit me with the shovel, but he kind of brought this on himself.
Well, he did kind of
Oh yeah. The story.
put his fingers in there a little bit.
Like
Yeah.
he likes to make sure that his lady is protected, and,
Sure.
and that's fine.
Sure.
He's a good boyfriend,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
but the
I mean,
good boyfriend may cost his lady her beautiful championship.
not even just a good boyfriend, but a good business partner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
They have. I mean, you can draw a clear line from when Sierra and Joey like made their relationship public.
Yes.
To where she is now.
Yeah,
and both of them.
Yeah.
You can see like Joey's working matches with Blanco Loco and fucking like Rohit. I think did he work Rohit?
yeah,
I think so.
AEW?
Yeah.
yeah. I think
But
so.
he's getting all these fucking crazy matches. Sierra is just on fire, and I know for a fact that these two individuals have had fucking many like dinners alone, like in a cafe somewhere or something, where they're both just like
Mostly in Applebee's, but you know.
maybe, but
Oh, yeah.
whoever like, but they're. I'm just trying to describe like these moments where
Yes.
Sierra and
Yes.
Joey are like. In that moment, they're not boyfriend girlfriend. They're fucking business partners.
Yeah.
Right.
And like they're like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this and we're gonna go to the East Coast and we're gonna fucking do it.
Right.
And they just do it.
Right.
And there's no like.
Do people not realize, as we've pointed out, I'm going to say this again, she's the OVW Women's Champion.
It's
Yes.
crazy.
OVW.
Or did she actually drop the title?
I don't believe so. I haven't heard
Actually,
anything.
She might have lost it
Did she?
recently.
Did she?
I'm pretty sure.
Might have.
I'm a couple months behind on my OVW tapings.
I'm a month behind on my OVW tapings, but
Okay.
I think she did. But yeah. By the way, because I believe she lost it to Miss Marakova.
To Miss Marakova?
So
Now I actually think I remember the highlights of that, yeah.
either it was Marakova or it was someone else. I think she did.
Yeah.
But so this concept of Christian Von Eerie, or her own business partner / partner,
Yeah, right?
right.
It's such a
'cause
crazy dynamic.
That's a weird situation there.
I give these young wrestlers a lot of credit, because like, why not? If you're both in the same profession,
Yeah.
and you think, hey, we can actually work some stuff together, and we're just gonna go accomplish everything
Yeah.
we want to go accomplish. Why not?
What a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Like, what a beautiful thing
Right,
to do.
right.
Plus, you're sharing the profits. And
Never
then,
hurts.
To be able to do that with your best friend.
Right.
Like, and your life partner.
create memories that last a lifetime.
And maybe that's why they're so successful, you know,
Right.
because they're so like mentally in tune with each other and
Right.
providing each other with the
I
tools
have
that they need to
I
be
have no
successful.
insider information, not to take away from the main event. I have no insider information, but there is a lot of rumblings that, and Eric, you've actually told me this before, that you don't even know if they're going to be around that much longer because
There's a good chance they won't.
And if they're not,
they are.
I'm so
they
happy.
are some of the to your point, they're making waves to so many different networking
Oh, yeah.
areas of
Yep.
wrestling right
Oh, yeah.
now
Yep.
that okay, love or hate whoever you want for TV company, somebody gonna give them a call at some point.
It's one of my biggest fears, but at the same time, it's one of my biggest hopes.
Right.
Yeah.
and I want that for everyone at DPW.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I don't want anyone to. I should almost fucking like institute like a.
Oh, if Paul Verk's not signed within 3 years, Jesse's gonna go call a bunch of people.
Jesse's gonna get
arrested for Paul.
That's another. I can't say too much, but over the last couple days, I got a couple text messages. So. Fuck. All right. So.
Deep breath. I see the hamster. Coming. The hamster's still on the wheel, but he's not running.
right.
The video.
Yes.
So
I believe we shared the video.
Yes, with Paul Verk. Yeah.
All right. So one of my biggest fears about like doing DPW is like, oh, they're doing a storyline. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I always want to be transparent with people and like, okay, so the thing between Paul and Alex is based off of like real life, and there's some elements there that I'm allowed to allude to.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I cannot under any circumstance like,
No, that's fine.
explain the entire
it's all
thing.
good. Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, no, understood.
Some of it has to do with the a lot of it actually has to do with the whole technical difficulty and the lighting thing that we had that happened at DPW 1.
Yep.
Which resulted in a very awkward problem backstage. We still don't. No one knows what the fuck happened. But
Right.
Gremlins.
Show Gremlins.
Always go with Gremlins.
Oh yes.
Always go with Gremlins.
So the point that I'm making is Paul's genuinely upset, and to still have Paul willing to involve himself in this project,
Yeah.
I am infinitely blessed. And I have spoken to him in the last couple days, and he's not booked. He's not booked for a match at DPW 2.
Yeah.
He's not booked. That's a decision that Alex has made.
Yeah.
That I fully support. And it's really going to come down to how they can work out their problems.
Right.
And I'm not getting in the middle of it, but I have asked them, because I believe that they are professionals.
Yes.
And they are grown men. I have asked them if, we can explore this
Yes.
on camera.
Okay.
Right.
And all I can say, and I would never go above my general manager's head.
Right.
And I would never.
He's in place for a reason.
Exactly.
Obviously, yeah.
I would never invite a wrestler to a show that Alex has not booked without him knowing. But I believe that there is a need for these two gentlemen to have a conversation.
Yeah, understood.
On camera.
Okay.
And that's the unique part about DPW is you really are, and God damn, are you into this? You want everything that is happening in that show to feel important.
Yeah.
And I know that seems like everyone wants to do that, but you really do take the time to let every person involved, whether they're coming for a match or they're coming for any reason, that okay, there is an importance to this, and there's an end game basically that needs to get reached. And you do put the time and effort into each and every moment. I don't want to say segments. I just want to say each and everything that is going to be encompassed in that show has its own uniqueness to it.
These men and women are, as you saw with Teddy, these men and women are literally putting their bodies on
Are we
the line.
opening once again with Country Air versus Flex Appeal?
No, actually,
okay,
that'll be later on in the card.
Okay.
Oh, that's another excellent match.
Oh,
right.
That match.
Good match.
They got. I mean, I'll be honest. I've been to a lot of live events.
Yeah.
I don't remember an opening match with two teams that really didn't have a lot of history to that fan base.
Right.
Get people hyped for a 2-hour show better than those guys.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It was was our mom's favorite tag team. I mean, how can you not?
Your mama's favorite tag team.
Yeah.
Flex
one of my-
Appeal is special.
Oh, they're amazing.
There's just something about them that feels. And, this is not a slight at the country. 'cause
No.
they're amazing.
Oh,
They're
yeah, they're
amazing.
both amazing.
But because I had not heard of them before that show, and they're coming out, and I'm with the kids. I'm just like flex. I'm like, wait, why am I dancing? What's going on? But
this was another 30 minutes. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Okay, I'm not joking. 3 days later, for 30 minutes out of nowhere, I actually told you to shut the fuck up. You wouldn't stop sending me shit on Flex Appeal.
It was so catchy. And so
he does this to me all the goddamn time.
So, Eric, what what we know about each other, especially for me as a musician, I like to research after the first time I've seen some stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm like, well, let me go find out the history of what I didn't know before.
You think?
And
he sent it to me.
But didn't we see which one of them was did we see at an MAW show?
Country Air was at Bobsville.
It was okay. All right, I know. Because I remember we saw him.
Yeah.
Once before.
Country, by the way, Country Air is amazing.
Oh God.
But before we go too far.
Yeah.
So these men and women, like you saw with Teddy, they put their bodies on the line for us, and I never want DPW to feel like a sideshow carnival,
right?
Cover band bullshit.
Fucking,
trying to do literally the bare minimum to get people in the door.
No pun intended for Teddy.
Yes.
And so they deserve the best.
Absolutely.
They deserve to have a these wrestlers deserve to have, and unfortunately we can't, do catering for DPW2, but they deserve to have catering. They deserve to have hotels.
There's a Quick Trip 60 feet away. They'll be fine.
Yeah. My Quick Trip is right there. I work there. We'll get
60 feet away.
Well, the
order
venue's,
some chicken. We'll be fine.
The venue's also a restaurant, so I think
True.
That is true.
Yeah.
Great wings, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I want all of
I want those
for whatever period of time, people like Sierra and Joey and Paul are with DPW. I want their footage and I want their pictures to look as fucking crazy good as humanly possible.
Right.
And not to toot my own horn, but I'm really fucking proud of the visual aspect of DPW.
I waited 3 years for this mofo to finally say that. So you know what? There we go.
Yes.
I look at our footage and our pictures compared to some of the promotions from around the Midwest or in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and I'll put our shit up against anyone.
Right.
Anyone.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
And that's not to say that but at the same time, I'll put my shit up with anyone as well.
Right.
We're open for business. There's not a bridge that I've burned that I won't fucking try to that I won't happily revisit to do business.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when that comic thing came out, I ate out, and when I found out that it was Jesse, again from Office Mac, I was like, bro, this straight up looks like you paid some Pixar person to make it.
Right.
So I mean, again, I would put your shit up against anybody. That's the thing.
And by the way, what's awesome about that? That's a community thing.
Right.
Jesse's a part of as we promote here all the time with DPW.
Yeah.
It's not just a wrestling; it's a community.
Yeah, exactly.
The board. So say if you have an idea yourself, Riley. I mean, guys are willing to listen.
Yeah.
It's great. And look at your ideas, and when they dig it, they reach out and they use it. So to see Jesse's work like that, by the way, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was him. That was phenomenal. Yeah. But I think that's also very inviting to fans to know, when I go to a DPW thing, it's not just an awesome wrestling show; it's a community event. We can really feel this thing together.
Well, speaking of opening your door and welcoming everything, well, this guy that we know, and I'm wearing his shirt, the System, the MAW champion.
Right.
He was invited up here, and I told him, hey, I'd love for you to come to Dudes because I'm at a show. And he's like, well, I'm not sure about it. Then I saw his video. So
you saw the shit that he's talking about.
Is there anything you could, can you give us on that? I mean, I'm just...
that guy really likes to talk.
He does, and he's full of himself a little bit. But
he backs it up.
Yeah, I guess.
But what I don't understand is... this motherfucker is from the Iron Range.
Yeah.
He should be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go up there, and more power to him. Ric Flair didn't wrestle in his hometown.
Right.
More power to him.
Right.
I understand that he's the MAW champion and he deserves the best. But
I just don't like that little ass violin. It just
hey, when we were at the show down in Turtle Lake, he came up playing.
Oh yeah.
So he played for you guys.
He played
But
for
when
that,
I
yeah.
offered
like
him
the
a $20 bill to play for me at at the brewery show,
It was
I got nothing but a middle finger.
I'll
remember that.
You might have to you might have to up it a little bit more, than $20. So.
Jesse, much like your boy the King, all it takes is some facial hair.
There we go.
as we've talked about on the show.
But I mean, do you think we're gonna see him?
Oh,
on Sunday?
He's definitely gonna be there.
Okay.
He's absolutely gonna be there. I'm
Now I'm afraid.
He's absolutely gonna be there, and
most of the Minnesota wrestling community wants to kill Jesse at this point. That's basically where it is.
Everyone except
Yes.
for Darren Corbin, it feels like.
Yeah.
Well, that
Well, you buy so
I'm the
much of his
problem
merch.
there, so don't worry.
Yes.
so he's absolutely gonna be there, and I think actually this might be a good time to announce what he's actually going to be doing.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, that'd be another
We're
lovely
down.
exclusive.
We're
An
an
hour in.
Here's your
So-
exclusive, guys.
All right, so this is one of those times where I will encourage Alex has full reign to do
Right.
whatever he wants,
Right.
but he also listens to my ideas a lot. And one thing that I told Alex was, if we're gonna send Sierra to MAW with the DPW championship, and System is gonna come to DPW, then he should have to defend the MAW championship.
I agree.
I agree with that.
This
yeah.
is true.
And if you guys watch MAW, you know that this gentleman Rampage Santana
Oh yeah.
Oh, we
has-
love our Rampage match.
We kind of know.
has an ongoing kind of friction between the two.
I would say it's there. Yes.
And so
Friction seems lighthearted.
I think it's only appropriate that if System is going to come, and he is going to be there,
Okay.
that he defends the MAW championship against Rampage Santana.
Woo!
Oh my God.
There you go, folks.
Wow.
We are an hour and 1 minute in. We'll mark that down.
And-
Huge announcement.
And if the results happen to have a title change, Jesse's going to have to come up with 84 more nicknames for the man.
Yeah, because I had to do 25 for him after he won the tag team championships. This is Rampage.
Yes.
So if he wins the MAW championship, I'm gonna run out of nicknames for this.
You
man.
are.
We definitely might. Yeah.
Now, by all means,
That's what I pay you for.
now, by all means, System can respond to this announcement
Correct.
how he wishes. Rampage can respond how he wishes,
Correct.
and we'll follow traditional championship rules.
Yes.
It'll be a 30-minute time limit. But I think that would be a good way to kick off the show.
You know
Okay.
what?
Oh, that would be a heck of a way to
Why
kick
don't
it.
I?
That'd be a
Would
really
that-
great way to kick off the show.
Would that be the VIP match,
Oh,
or
no,
would that
no,
be
no,
the
that
first
would-
match
that'd be
coming
the
in?
first match in the
That'd
show.
be your
Okay.
first
Yep,
match
we'll,
on the
yeah,
card,
we'll have a
Jesse,
Why don't I do a little reaching out?
You got a few feelers out there. Maybe,
maybe get them.
What's
on,
that timestamp, Leroy? What's that timestamp?
An hour and a minute. It was an hour and a minute in.
Okay, perfect.
Let me
Yeah,
see
an
if
hour
I can
in.
get these two on a. Well, I'll get them on a video call because
There we
if I
go.
put them in the same room as me,
Yeah.
I'm
might be
endangering
bad.
myself,
Yeah.
and I cannot endanger myself. Otherwise, I'm not going to make
You
it.
too.
Might,
You
might,
too.
I might have
are
to put a
eventually gonna cause
tag.
me bodily harm. Leroy's always getting hurt when we're doing stuff. Jesse, you just verbally are like abusing half of the wrestlers. Like,
We'll see. If it's Darren, I got to wear a nut cup. If it's anybody else, I'm not
I
sure
gotta get
yet.
you bubble wrap at this freaking.
Yeah, I might
Speaking
be
of
worried.
wrestlers who might hit me,
I might
with
have
the-
to tag
Who might
this.
hit me with the sign? Is Coda Jacobs going to be at this show?
Unfortunately, Coda is booked
Okay.
for a separate event. We wanted to have him there, but unfortunately, he's not going to be
Okay.
at DPW.
He's out
too.
there once again, working for a brighter tomorrow in the wrestling.
Well,
Right,
yes,
he
yes.
was explaining his campaign to the fans at the last show,
He was.
and I simply said, "You're working hard for a campaign that hasn't worked for you." And I just, as someone who used to be in politics, I think you just need a better campaign manager, and I don't think he was a fan of that.
Or you were
So,
trying to get a job and it didn't work?
I was just trying to hustle and get a job.
He really
Yeah.
should have a campaign
He
manager.
really should
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a campaign
he should.
manager. And some fans said, "Well, he doesn't sound that bad." And the one fan said, "I think you should hit him with the sign." And then he kind of smiled and shook his head. And I just wanted to make sure. I love Coda.
Sure, of course.
Coda's
yeah.
one of the better technical
I
wrestlers
love Coda.
in the Midwest. I mean, he's amazing. But I just wanted to make sure. I would have been happy if he was there.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. I would stay away from him at all times. But
yeah, he could probably kill all of us.
All I want is the campaign manager job. But
that'd be pretty.
He makes my job harder because now I got to figure out security for Jesse's ass.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
I'm gonna find you actual midgets. I will do this. I will do this.
Now, as you bring up that's by the way, thank you for that awesome announcement.
That is fantastic.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Jesse's gonna throw a little spice into that pot and
like I
stir
said,
it a little bit.
Be on
By
the
all
lookout
means,
in the
please do.
DPW chat. Be on the lookout in PWL, Twitter. I'm gonna get these two
Did
on
you
a
get
phone call this
Did
week.
you get hooked up to their Twitter account again or not yet?
Yes, now I am.
Okay, good.
So yeah, so
I don't.
Jesse lost his
we
phone
have to
and his
see.
Twitter access. It's been a long week for you in
So
technology.
for those who sometimes hit me up for, we'll do our top fives, and now we've gotten people involved in that.
Yeah.
Well, Zach like I said, Zach this week was going to have to take. I didn't have my phone for a few days. I didn't realize I had to pay my bill, and then bill came up, and I was like, oh, I'm out of money.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
It happens a lot.
It's all
But,
good. I forgot that I subscribed to Spectrum
Ooh.
until my Spectrum got cut off this morning. So I called Spectrum and I'm like, yo,
I need that internet
I
back.
forgot.
let me pay that bill.
Yeah,
yo.
pay that bill real quick.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. It's all
But
good.
so, because that's huge. Big question.
Big answer.
Will it still be big time referee in this match?
Ben Holberg?
Yes.
I'm not sure who's going to ref that match.
Okay. Because I know most of the time in the
Ben will be there.
in the MAW title match, it's been I forget his name from down in MAW. Usually for their title
Isn't it
matches
like
or main event matches.
Jerry something?
I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Adams? Or,
Something like.
Isn't he on your shirt, Leroy?
Not on this one?
yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. No. He had mentioned that he wanted to possibly be part of it, but I believe Rampage had his number. So.
Maybe he will be there.
Okay.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
Honestly.
All right.
Wait,
I'm
we
not
gotta find out. I don't know if the system and the Rampage are on Twitter.
Now they
Rampage
both-
not be on Twitter?
Rampage
I
is
know, I
on
haven't-
Twitter.
In what
the
world do you
system-
live in that
the
that boy's
system
not
is
on Twitter?
I'm sorry I didn't find it.
But
on
what
there.
I will do, like I said, for people, look out for my announcement. Will come tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think I can probably get some information out of these two. I think I'm going to try to do it by Thursday or Friday. I'm going to
Okay.
get them on a video chat with
Yeah,
me,
perfect.
and I'm going to just let those two go.
should I maybe put something on when I post the podcast of a little teaser towards that? All right.
Yeah, by all means.
Why not?
All right. So, final thoughts on this. You've said that DPW3 has a name. Do you have a date yet, or is that still in production?
The date is still unannounced.
Fair enough.
I have a date.
Yes.
You have a
Fair
tentative date, but you're not announcing it
fair
yet.
enough.
I have a date. You don't.
Wait a minute.
And that's how it works.
That's
Wait a minute.
my life, though.
Wait a
I
minute.
never
Wait a
had
minute.
that.
As
I
much.
just got to call my girlfriend and I get a date.
Yeah, there you go. Now,
As far as DPW3 goes,
Yes.
too, I kind of want people to understand, like, I was unemployed when DPW1 happened.
Yeah.
I was recovering from a broken neck, hernia surgery. I, had gone through the pandemic. My mother was recovering from breast cancer surgery.
lovely woman, by the way. Absolute.
Oh yeah, we love your mom.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, she's listened to.
Oh,
Oh, sweet.
that's great.
She owes me a tater hot dish.
She knows. She knows.
I don't
she
turn
said-
down tater hot dish.
she's-
No, I wouldn't
Be
either.
very clear about that.
She said it would change your life,
I'm down. I'm down.
but
You might have to share some with me on that one.
Maybe.
I have. I've gone through so much shit
Yeah.
Yeah.
while getting this company off the ground.
Yeah.
And I finally now have my dream career as a marketing director for a company in Superior. My mother's doing well.
We got listeners up here. You're allowed to give out the name of the.
Oh yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
so-
Arctic, I work for Arctic Compressor as their marketing coordinator.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal company. I hope somehow they hear this because I genuinely love everyone that I work with.
That's awesome.
And the style of work that I get to do is almost identical to what I'm doing for DPW,
Right,
which is
yeah.
a huge blessing.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Right.
But I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to give anyone a sob story or anything, but I am trying to illustrate the point that DPW 3 should be fucking crazy. Should be fucking like.
And
one of the big things I think, we got to do it at the show, which, by the way,
I mean, DPW 2 is gonna be fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be great.
But
now,
it's just like,
we got to do this.
If you
at
haven't
the
gone to
show.
discoverprowrestling.com by this
Right.
point, you haven't been
Yeah.
listening to us well enough.
We got to do it at the show, but I think, I'm going to tell everyone to do it again. We want to thank yourself. We want to thank Alex. A lot of the team behind the production and all that, because
it's such a crazy
yeah,
big team.
Like everyone, because you went through craziness in 2020. So did I.
I think we all did.
So
we all did. That's the thing.
Alex had some insane stuff happen, and yet everyone stayed committed to this, which was beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, I've never really thought about it like that.
Right, and like I was so happy to bring you that chair.
Dude,
because I just to see
look
like your appreciation, to let you kind of take that all in of having to put a show back 8 months, dealing with everything you dealt with.
So basically, what Jesse is saying, folks, and Eric is echoing. If you think that they've been good so far, with all our lives stabilized, imagine what the fuck it's going to look like.
It's going to be amazing now.
All right, Eric, I love you.
Here's the fun
Go
part.
ahead.
Are we still going to be at Clyde for number 3? Or are you going to a different venue? Because I know you. I know you've been talking about
He's
that.
got a look that we're going to move on from you because he's got nothing else to say. That's the look.
I got a good one there.
Now, we love you, but Jesse has needed to say a few things to you off of the topic of DPW. If you have a little more time.
So while we still have a few minutes
with you, Jesse, you have had and needed someone to talk to about this because sadly you have seen what I believe is the light, but you would like to talk a few things with this gentleman right here.
Let me preface this by saying I love you.
Are we about to argue?
Yeah, I think
Probably,
so.
yeah.
I think
well,
so.
no, not argue. A constructive criticism talking.
That will seem like arguing.
Yes, exactly.
It's gonna seem like arguing.
This man took his headphones off.
I'm gonna try not to get too loud.
If he steps away from the mic, then it could.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that.
That's the real problem.
Is this about AEW?
Oh yeah, you know.
Oh, you know.
Oh,
this.
you know it.
We had to get you. on.
you
We
know
had to
it.
get you on for that. Go ahead, Jesse.
So I want you to
Lay it on me.
put into so many words the Young Bucks.
Oh boy.
Now, before he
Killing-
answers, because he's compliment, he's thinking of his answer.
He's
I want
contemplating.
I want everyone to know the chair isn't just open to promoters and wrestlers. Like we always say, if you ever have a direct opposite point to mine, you are more than welcome.
They can find you where?
You can find me on Twitch at Big J Stowe. You can find me on all of our formats at 13 cards, 13_cards on Twitter, 13 cards subject to change on Facebook, 13 cards subject to change on YouTube. You can find me anywhere. Trust me, I will hear you out.
And he's got the and believe me, Jesse of all people has the time to respond.
It's not even if I will find the time to respond.
Exactly.
Either he will respond or I will respond because I always check it out
So
too.
Eric, floor's yours.
In a few words.
Well, as many words as you need.
What I was going to say was just killing the business.
Okay.
And
Both copies still available at the Duluth Noble. Nobody wants to pay for them. Moving on.
and I mean that in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
Predominantly in the same context that you would describe Uber disrupting the taxi business.
Okay, yeah.
I'll give them that. 100%.
I believe that their legacy is not so much, maybe even at all, about their in-ring work.
Okay.
I mean, they're great wrestlers. You can't tell me that they're not good wrestlers.
I'll actually respond afterwards.
You
Go
can't.
ahead.
I don't think any fan of wrestling can say that they are not gifted at what they do.
Oh no, we'll never take that away.
Nope, won't do it.
Take that out of the equation, and how we spoke about Scott Hall earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the Young Bucks legacy is going to be that of the disruptor of the industry.
Okay.
You can look back at their time in Japan and with Bullet Club.
Right.
They invented new streams of revenue that were not there before for the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
They have, because of the Young Bucks and Tony Khan and AEW,
Okay.
the overall quality of living,
I'd like to point out, I'm the only one wearing an official AEW shirt on the show.
because of people like the Young Bucks, you can fucking hate what they do in the ring and their attitudes and the shit that they say, but you cannot deny or refuse to give them the credit for being a part of the group that elevated the quality of life for the whole wrestling business. The whole business.
Okay.
I agree.
And that's what I mean by killing the business.
Yes.
They killed a way that was not working. And
We'll agree.
they fucking invented their own way to become fucking millionaires.
They did.
Millionaires.
They did
Oh
so.
yeah, that's damn good to do.
Yes.
Fuck their wrestling. Fuck their
Yep, yep.
wrestling.
Yes.
Who gives a fuck about their wrestling?
Yes.
They're better than all of us at wrestling.
Well, sure.
Well, yeah.
They're better than all of us. Honestly, the four of us really don't have shit that we have a leg to stand on when we talk about their wrestling. We aren't wrestlers. All four of us are relatively familiar with business.
Yes.
All four of us are on some different level.
Right,
we're
right.
business.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
businessmen.
Yeah.
We're not fucking wrestlers though. So who the fuck are we to talk about what they do in the ring? Look at the ratings. Look at the money. And then you and I have had conversations
Yes.
about the money side of it.
Oh yeah.
The fucking overall, the crux of their legacy in pro wrestling is that of the disruptor. And to feed my point, the fact that you guys fucking hate them so much,
Oh, I've given them that.
the fact,
Well, yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that you hate them so much
Yes.
is just proof of how good they fucking actually are.
He sounds like your boy Funky Love.
Now,
Oh jeez. We're not gonna go that way.
here's what I'm not going to take away.
Okay.
What I'm not going to take away is the way they've gotten themselves successful as far as business-wise. As I've said on the show a million times.
Oh no. You've complimented
The
that
one
1,000
thing
times.
I could never, ever take away is that they did find a way, a new revenue of way
Yes.
to make $1 million without
Which,
ever
by the
needing
way,
WWE.
we are willing to admit is in multitude of ways being copied by every company in the world right
Which
now.
is,
Oh, yeah.
there's no doubt about that,
Yes.
Explain that to me. How are they copying the Young Bucks? Who's copying the Young Bucks?
So, like WWE now, kind
Everybody.
of using content, which they've, ways that they've never used before.
I would say
New
before the Young
Japan-
Bucks, WWE did not use things like Twitter and YouTube to create
About to
stuff
say,
on their
New-
content.
New
as
Japan-
And now
much.
they are.
New
New
Japan
did
only
not either.
joined the world of that probably 3 years after the Young Bucks were already there.
Yeah.
New Japan had arguably their
The library,
biggest level of
I mean, but
success.
Yes.
while they were there.
Yes.
Well,
So
Yes.
I will say this: they helped to elevate Bullet Club. And I've never taken that away. They helped to elevate Bullet Club,
which
New
in
Japan.
turn helped elevate.
But
New
I
Japan.
can't. Here's why I can't give them full credit for that, though. Think of who was in that group with them, even before Kenny. So are we going to take away from the fact that AJ Styles not only worked New Japan mostly full time, but he also still went and did WXW, was still kind of partially working for. And AJ had a huge impact on a lot of that as well, a huge impact. Now, like I said, like I've told people before, one thing I will never take away from them is their mind for the business.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even give them full credit for AEW. Let me explain.
No, I haven't either. They're part of the group that.
Now, they're a part of the group, but the guy who just left, I give more credit to. Here's why. I give Cody more credit for that because Cody is the guy that put out the statement of, how can anyone else sell out? I think Dave Meltzer was talking about people selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
And Cody Rhodes said, why not anybody else?
Right.
And he's actually been a lot of the catalyst for what led to them meeting Tony Khan and AEW getting started.
I 1,000% agree with you on that. That Cody Rhodes deserves
a ton of, like I said, I'm not taking any from the Young Bucks at all, because a lot of that talent that AEW has known the Bucks for a while and respects them, right? Okay. Here's the thing I disagree with vehemently, and I will always disagree with it vehemently about. I have no problem with fans talking about in-ring style. I've always said be respectful about it, but if you disagree with the style, it is what it is.
Sure.
Like I've told people, it took me years to actually get into lucha style, just because I was so used to an Americanized style. You know what I mean?
Right.
I grew up watching Eddie and those guys, WCW. But that was still a very Americanized style of lucha wrestling.
It took me like 20 years to get into New Japan. I only got into New Japan probably in 2011.
Okay, yeah.
I spent so many years traveling to Tucson, Arizona with my family. There was so much lucha on television down there that for me it was easy to understand, and as an adult because I had seen it happen as a kid.
Right.
So that's why lucha might have been easier for me than you because I was forced to be around it so much, because even though it was in Spanish, it was the only good thing on television when I was down there.
And New Japan was very, very easy for me to get into because, I mean, listen, it's a culture thing. I hate to say it, but as a black dude, we love seeing people get hit very hard. We will pay a lot of money to watch people get their ass whooped. Like, we will. It's
amazing.
just a part of our culture. Now, in-ring doesn't matter.
Wait, how strong are you, and how much will you pay me?
To get in the ring with me?
No, just to see me get slapped really hard.
Oh!
I'll get some extra money out of this.
I mean, well, listen. I don't want to do it, but I mean, if I can make money off of watching you get beat up, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Dude, that's actually one. It's gonna sound so fucking dumb, but one of my biggest, most selfish goals is that I want to have one match in DPW.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
I want to have one match.
Okay.
But I can't, 'cause I have a broken neck.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you got in there with someone pretty safe, it might work out.
See, Zach would pay and not have to pay to see me get up there and get my ass whipped too, probably.
You and Darren Corbin is going to happen at some point.
It's gonna happen.
It's going to happen.
Well, you know what? If it could happen with Darren, I would not want to happen with anybody else.
He's going to beat you silly, but
He'd beat me up, but I wouldn't be hurting too bad afterwards.
You won't have any nuts anymore.
I'm surprised Teddy didn't go after you, because Darren's gone after you, a buddy's gone after you. I'm surprised Teddy didn't go after you. Woodland creatures don't like you at wrestling events. It's very weird.
Dude, I heard there's a really, really, really strong rumor going around on fucking everywhere right now that Teddy Flexington might actually make a surprise appearance at DPW too.
Ooh.
So
hide Leroy. Anyway, Jesse. Back
I'll
to
hide
your
upstairs in the balcony.
There you go.
Why do you hate the Bucks again?
So here's why I don't hate the Bucks. I hate the aura of the Bucks, and I'll explain what I mean by aura.
I don't see an aura around them.
But I do, because here's the thing.
Then isn't that on you? Like.
Well, I don't know if it is just on me, though. Think about it.
He's trying to work through his feelings right
now.
No.
Think about it for a second. Because unlike him, when they first started, when AEW first came on television, I was like, listen, man, because I was on the show quite yet, but I had told Zach, like, listen, I'm going to give it a chance because I like to see new wrestling. These are a lot of indie wrestlers that would have never been given a chance in either WWE or even maybe with Scott D'Amore's Impact.
Yeah.
Even though, to be fair, he's also let a lot of talent walk. But it's awesome to kind of see another major American company again on television.
Yeah,
super cool.
Because I really don't understand Billy Corgan. I've loved
conversation
Billy for a long time.
Conversation for another day. We understand.
But there is an aura around them. There's this mystique. So one thing I constantly hear about them is that, they are the quote-unquote greatest tag team of their generation.
I was going to ask you, what do you think that aura is? So you think the aura is that people perceive them as the greatest tag team ever?
I think people perceive them as something greater than what they are.
See, I don't see that.
So like I have like I said, I have no quarrel about the business side and their influence on indie wrestling because there's nothing to discuss there. Like you talked about earlier. Now, I know one argument you two have gotten into is about the money with AEW. Now, I want to hear what that argument on your side is about the money when it comes
What
to
were
AEW.
we arguing about?
You know, I think
It was on the ride home from when you bailed me out of that fucking...
That mess.
But
By the way, thank you for repeatedly bailing me out of shitty situations. I love you guys.
That's
we're
what
friends, man.
That's what friends
that's all
do.
that matters.
I
That's all that
mean,
matters.
For reference point, I wanna take a second actually to pay tribute to this man to my left because when I was unemployed, and this is a weird thing, like people think that I have like my fucking life together and shit. And it's like I'll fucking prove
I'll prove you wrong. That's what he's saying.
just wait. Just wait. So I had gone down to Showtime Pro Wrestling on November 6th, 2021. And I was unemployed. I was unemployed.
Okay.
And just like imagine yourself depressed. And then imagine yourself just really fucking depressed. And like that was me. I mean, like I was still like, you know, just doing life, but like so after the show, which was, you know, difficult for me to like bring myself to just because I was so fucking down and out.
Yeah.
And so after the event, which was great, I get into a nasty car accident. And I'm like, I don't have any fucking money. Like I don't have a job. My car is literally they told me that my car was totaled.
Yeah.
So Zach, he fucking
Open up Facebook.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it was the morning that
After.
Yeah,
It
the
was
morning after.
So I rolled over and checked Facebook for 30 seconds.
I had posted on Facebook I posted the pictures of my car.
Yeah.
And I was literally stranded at a
American Inn, I believe.
yeah, or Holiday Inn. Yeah,
American Inn Suites, yeah.
something in down
the middle of Chippewa Falls.
in
basically.
Oh, wow.
in literal bumfuck
Nowhere.
Chippewa Falls.
Yes.
Yep.
And
As is most of Wisconsin.
Yes.
I didn't have my fucking phone charger. I didn't have anything. And this gentleman to my left, like literally without hesitation, like physically dug into his pockets to take cash out to help me out of this situation. Like, I just thank you.
No, Zach's amazing. I
Like-
mean, we give Zach a lot of
Not
grief
a
on the
problem.
show, but Zach's a really good guy. I mean, Leroy's helped me a lot. I mean, it's a family here.
In addition to that, I'm currently like looking at a stack of $260 that this podcast has given to DPW, and then
It's
And
the
then-
least we could do to help that show.
and
We
and along with that,
Right.
I can't get too detailed, but Zach has like, there's elements of this show that, I mean, fuck, the show probably wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Zach. And so
No,
we can,
to be fair, him not hitting me up would be a detriment because I would not make it.
you know,
Because
I-
I wake up really late, so
Right.
usually so.
I really appreciate you, Zach, and I appreciate you guys, and
It's the least we could do.
Right.
And that's the honest statement. Now,
appreciate
back
it.
to what Jesse was asking. We were arguing not about necessarily money. Money
Yeah.
is a part of it. We were arguing about the two words on the show that this year we wanted to get away from, which was the key demo,
Okay.
the key. Oh, right, yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
continues to be only about a
Hey.
0.05 difference.
Hey, motherfucker!
Oh yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, you're shit there.
I win that argument, and we're not even gonna have it.
We're not having it
I
because
fucking win because
we're not having it because
You're-
110%. I've admitted on the show that is a situation that is never going to 100%.
See, but here's the thing about the key demo, though. So I don't know if you actually completely
Give him his
win.
win.
Go, Eric, go ahead.
Hold on.
Give him his win.
Hold on.
all right.
Hold on. Your argument was that the half-hour overrun of SmackDown didn't actually lose to Rampage.
No,
That was what you said.
no. My exact statement was it was not brought on due to Rampage going over. They'd already announced it.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
You and I were arguing that WWE changed their show because they went to a different network to compete with the, I believe it wasn't a buy. what was the official name of the YouTube show with American Dragon versus?
Oh.
I don't remember. No,
was
I
that
don't
official?
remember.
I don't remember the name of the
what-
Oh,
yeah.
That was before Rampage. I
That was
thought.
before.
Or was that,
Yeah,
that was before Rampage.
But that's what I'm. Oh, the half-hour run over. Okay, yeah.
So the half hour right. So the half hour overrun.
They were on FS1 that night.
Yeah.
Right.
FS1 that week, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they did that to compete with Rampage. They did that to compete with Rampage. You cannot deny that.
Never denied
You
that.
did. You did. That's what you said.
I did not deny that. What I said was specifically towards that. They did not create that extra half hour because of Rampage. They did it because they always do special things when they go to a different network.
Yeah.
So it was planned for them to go
But
over.
they've gone to
no
FS1
matter
before
what.
without doing that.
No.
Yes, they have.
No. You're 100% correct. They haven't gone a half hour over. I never said Rampage didn't have something to do with it. What I've said is that Jesse can confirm they always do something special on the show, but they did
was
the extra
that before
half.
pay-per-view?
No, that was before just a. Was that the go home show from Rampage before like an All Out or something?
No, I
That was
don't
just a
think
no,
I
no,
can't- I
no.
can't-
It's just a
Well,
regular
no, I'm
one.
talking about SmackDown. Was that SmackDown before? I think that was before day one, right?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't. No,
this
no,
is
no.
before. No. Basically, what I had said is that the extra half hour was due to Rampage, but the extra half hour was what they chose to do this particular time because whenever they go to a different network, because they did it on Sci-Fi, they put on special matches, they do it for FS1. When they go to a different network and they're kicked off their basic network cable, they do special things, but the extra half hour was necessarily due to the fact that Rampage was now a thing.
Are you familiar with the MLW lawsuit?
Yes.
In the MLW lawsuit, they
Use that as an example.
accuse WWE of being a monopoly.
Yes.
WWE uses their loss
Yes.
to AEW
Yes.
as proof of them not being a monopoly.
Now, again, I will concede that was a situation that, yes. Well, look. Here's the deal. I understand the business side of things. Competition is competition, and people always do things based on what someone else is doing. That's never not a thing.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that the NFL right now has been reactionary to what everyone else is doing. Every single team
Yeah.
is reacting to what the next person
It's a
does.
dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous way to do business. To
Which-
be completely reactionary.
Which I agree, but
Like if like,
but the problem is Vince was not able to be reactionary for over 20 years because there was nothing else to react to.
but he was
That's true. Yeah.
well, no. I mean,
My point.
he reacts to the shareholders, the stockholders.
Right.
No, but he
them-
didn't have to.
them and the network executives were damn sure.
Well, he
Yes.
didn't have to react to another company
I guess-
like WCW. He didn't because they never had anything, and now they do.
Well, they had TNA. They
That-
did.
But they didn't do as
well,
much with that.
hold on.
They did.
We
As,
can never ever use TNA. That was
Sure we can.
They,
Sure
they,
we can.
They got their asses whooped.
They did get their asses kicked, but the
We
point
can.
the point is we can use TNA as an example because your point is that WWE never quote unquote competed with another company within the last 20 years, and that's false.
Well, TNA was trying
Well,
to
that
was
compete
me,
with
not
them.
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
January 4th, 2010.
Yes.
The debut of Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff on Monday Night Impact that night.
Yeah.
And then January 10th. January 4th was also the debut of the re-debut of Bret Hart.
Yes.
Right.
So
Okay,
they countered that
Well,
program.
I think from that I'm sorry to redo my statement.
You don't need to
That
apologize.
that since then they really have not had anything coming on a regular network TV like AEW has.
No, absolutely not, no.
Impact has never been on a big name network like this. They have a competition on a big name network, so they have to do something now. In
Right.
order, and he's going to, and
I
it's
agree.
been years
I agree. I'm not-
since that happened.
I'm not saying they shouldn't compete. What are we
Well,
arguing
yeah.
about?
Basically,
We're having a good, genuine
basically
conversation.
going back to the point was first of all, you are correct about the Rampage half hour thing.
Right. So what's your position?
So specifically being
What's your position?
my position is this. In my opinion, I don't believe that until the light's going to keep
I
going.
got weird lights going. I haven't
The
figured
light's
out
been doing
yet.
that forever.
Don't worry.
The cat's
No
been
ghost
doing it
here.
forever too. So you're just yeah. But anyway, my
I don't have
position-
any ghosts in here. Don't worry.
My position is that at the end of the day, there is reactionary things always happening due to the fact that there is direct competition, regardless of size. My point is that what you and I continue to go back and forth about, whether it's about money or about this, about that, I don't think that the key demo is as driving a force or as you necessarily believe, because while I do think Vince needs to listen to it, does listen to it, you're sitting there telling me that that's and correct me if I'm wrong, but the vibe that I've gotten off of this has come that you think the key demo is going to lead to something that will eventually cause massive shift. To me, I don't view that as a thing, because while I understand key demo involves advertisers, it's not like WWE still doesn't have multi-million-dollar corporations advertising for them. You want to sip a Coca-Cola before you go on?
No.
Okay.
So to put both of us on the same level.
Yes.
Neither of us are educated in TV rights, TV law, entertainment law.
Despite what I read on the internet, correct. Yes.
Well, and yeah, even most wrestling journalists are not educated as far as, and I am not educated as far as how the key demographic is incorporated into whatever metric is used to determine TV rights, licensing,
somebody posted
and shit
on
like that.
on Twitter. It was where AEW fell one of their Wednesday nights, and I'll be honest, I read the graph that broke down the quarter hour.
That full graph.
Yeah, I'll admit, didn't understand a damn thing necessarily what it meant, but it was interesting.
I do understand it a little bit, but
yeah,
I'm not.
But put that in the context.
So giving both of us that handicap,
Yes.
who would you rather have watch your show? Would you rather have 4-year-olds or 18-year-olds?
Honestly,
Yeah.
and I'm being 100% serious when I say this, because this is how I view advertising based on how I've viewed the whole thing.
You think the 4-year-old's parents are going to spend money
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
on pro wrestling?
Yes.
No, he's
Okay.
He's biased.
he's a little
Leroy's biased. Leroy's a
But-
little biased.
How
but
much?
yes.
How much have you spent on yourself compared to your children on wrestling? Going to all these shows, going to
Well,
look at the. I'm comparing the economic capability,
Right.
Which is fair. Yeah, I know.
I'm
yeah.
comparing the economic capability between you and your child, who has no. Your child has no money and
Well, yeah.
no car.
Yes.
You have all the access to that.
Yeah.
You're at least 18. You're the demographic that they want.
Well, yes.
You are the
first of all-
demographic,
first of all-
not the
First of all,
child.
1800.
But
Keep going.
You're the
I had to throw that in for you.
You're the demographic.
yes.
Like the product is set up in a way so that you're interested in it enough, and the product is okay enough to give it to your kids. Your kids aren't paying your cable bill. You bought the
they're
cable.
not.
You bought the
no,
cable.
they're not. But their influence of what they see on that TV makes me spend money. I spent more money on them than I have done on any of the shows I go to.
Yes.
Merchandise.
Were you a fan of wrestling before you had kids?
Oh yeah, I've been a fan
there
of
you go.
wrestling since like the 80s. Since
You were 4.
since
5.
I was his
Right.
age, because I
Right.
get
Back
that
in, like, the
influence from my
1920s.
parents.
Right.
So
1720s.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
yeah, thank you. So I mean, most of the money I spend on merchandise
We're
and
getting
everything
closer to
for my
Israel
kids,
age.
yeah, I
That-
spend a little bit more. I mean, my belt costs me a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm
but
not
one thing, but
I'm definitely not saying that parents don't spend money on their children
No,
Yeah.
to make them happy.
Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
yeah.
What I am saying is it's borderline fucking unethical to position a product with the expectation that the 4-year-old has a parent to spend money on them. Like that's
Why
not
do you feel that way?
well, that's not always the case. I mean, the
But
No,
now you're
and I
getting-
want-
the
and- well,
div-
I
the
want
div-
him to finish.
No, yeah,
the divorce rate in the United States is like 58%.
Oh, it's
or
insanely
something.
high.
Oh, it's
some
oh,
crazy
it's crazy.
shit.
Oh yeah, I'm in that one.
And
I'm
I'm
aware.
just you can't. If I am running a business,
Yes.
I would never ever sell the business
Mm-hmm.
with the hope that who's watching it has someone that can pay for them to watch it.
Oh, well,
I would only
And
that's not-
I would only
and
ever
that's not what I'm trying to say I'm doing. I'm gearing it. In my opinion,
But
I would.
I asked you who would you rather have watch your show?
The 4-year-old. But my reasoning being...
And why?
And,
because you hope that there's an adult that can pay for them to enjoy your shit.
But there's 2 parts to that.
There we go.
They pay for them right now. They pay for themselves in 20 years.
Right.
The 18-year-old that I'm getting right now is only spending their money at this point. So in reality, it's kind of the same argument in the sense that, like you said, parents don't always have the money to spend. Well, Jesse's a prime example. No offense, Jesse. You've already put your own financial stuff out there.
You're getting there, but we're getting the same result with 2 different avenues. So it's pointless to argue about it.
Well, and an example, 1 is Jesse, 2 is me, because we both grew up as a child, and somebody else watched and influenced us, and we are still fans to this day.
Right.
And I do the same thing for my kids.
Right.
They love the show is geared towards them. The commercials and everything that I watch in between that they don't pay attention to are focused to me, because I've watched enough, and I was in advertising with radio, and I've learned. You watch a different show. If you watch wrestling, you see one thing. If you turn on, you're watching Golden Girls, you're going to see a total different commercial. You're going to see a thing about Depends or My Doll.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
It's not even close to what would be affected me, but no, I just turn it back to
Right.
WWE, and then I see them selling T-shirts or, a Toyota truck.
Right,
Because that's what it is.
They sell Ford, Toyota,
So it's like
Celebrex.
the show and stuff they got on there is going to go after the kids,
Right.
and do that. The commercials are going to go after me.
So then we should all be happy then, because we have WWE that.
Oh, we
is
are
doing-
happy that
Yeah.
there's content in there. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what we're trying to get at here is that we've
it's completely subjective.
well,
Right,
yeah,
right,
obviously.
1000%
And-
subjective.
and-
None
and
of us are right.
Also,
The demo
not-
is the last thing I'm worried about.
That's fair. Now, not to cut anyone off, I understand that you have other stuff you need to do until
Yeah,
next week.
I was supposed
now,
to be out of
before
here.
you go,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
We
fine.
get so heated
Before
and
you
crazy,
go,
so we
have
love
a
you,
bunch
Eric.
of top fives.
No, I love you guys.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
We've been doing top fives now a lot on the show.
No, you have. No, I'm just kidding.
I would personally like you to leave on this. Give me right now, and we will post this after the show, your top 5 people in wrestling that you would like the world to discover.
Oh shit.
Yeah, by the way, he never gives you a warning. He just does this. This is what he does, by the way.
Did-
So for all the good he does, this is what he likes.
Exactly.
If you didn't listen to the show last week, you should listen to what they gave me, the table for 3. That one sucked.
Oh, we should film that. We should do a table for 3 and film that.
We actually have to talk to you about possible video stuff after this.
Yeah, we should do some more things, because we could actually, with
I'm down.
Yeah, we
I'm
could,
so in.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
If we could just randomly off the top of my head, if we all went down to an MAW show,
Yeah.
we could grab a Rampage system and
Oh, yeah.
and
I'll be messaging you after the show about something involving DPW. That's
Yeah.
a tease for our people.
Yeah.
But yes, right now.
But we could go. We could.
Oh, yeah.
we could make that happen today.
Yeah.
We could have all the stuff. you
Right.
know?
We have a lot of ideas.
But yes, before you go, I need your top 5.
My top 5 people that I want the wrestling world to discover.
Yes.
That aren't in wrestling currently.
I would say much
Just
like
major
Jesse's.
promotions.
Jesse's got a top 5 later today involving the women of the business.
Right.
But basically, so the guidelines here are people that you feel are under-discovered.
So I would think non-major sign wrestlers.
Basically, yeah, basically. You don't necessarily have to have a number one. You can just give me 5 people
Yeah.
in
Right.
any order. That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah. This will definitely not be in order of importance.
Right,
Or
yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that. This
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Just off the top of my head.
Mhm. Yeah.
So the first person that comes to mind, his name is Eric Rotundo, and he is my right hand man when it comes to production. He actually, I wish more promotions knew about him, just because he would be willing to go and help,
Okay.
and he would be, I think he would be willing, but he's he's just, the shows can't happen without him.
Yeah, and this is why I gave him this list, Jesse, is
Right.
because he's going to give me also non-wrestlers, which is exactly
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
what I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one is Nick Olson, my commentator. I think Nick has an incredibly bright future. The commentary that he did for DPW 1 was the first time he's ever done pro wrestling
Oh, wow.
commentary.
which you would never know
You would
if you
never-
watched that
Right.
because
Never fucking guess.
he was so seamless with what he was
Right.
doing.
And God bless Nick, because as you guys know, the audio,
Right.
he had to redo
Yes.
the commentary, and
Which again, you would never know if you didn't know.
Right.
then we had a situation where Sierra worked a match at another promotion, and the commentators, I hope they listen to this, because I just fucking think you guys are just the biggest piles of shit for what you said to Sierra on commentary. And I don't care that some of you tried to apologize to me afterwards. I think that it was hollow, and
Okay.
I don't think you ever really meant it, or else you wouldn't have fucking said it. So yeah, she had some people on commentary that were saying some really, really, really fucked up things about her. And
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned this, Zach.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick Olson, the DPW commentator, he wasn't even at that show. You know, he was 200 miles away at
Yes.
the time.
Right.
Yes.
And I called him and I was like, "Look, we have this fucking situation, and I need you to bail me out." And sent him the footage, and he recorded it literally
awesome.
that day.
Yeah.
That's
and,
awesome.
and it's just an amazing, amazing thing that he can do.
If you ever in the future have the ability, I would love to do a show with him, only because
Oh yeah, we've talked about that
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I'd love.
because like I said, I feel like Nick has such a seamless transition of ability, which again, in my opinion, is so natural because he had never done that.
Right.
And then, like I said, even though there were audio issues and it was re-recorded,
Yep. It still sounded so natural.
I've had people come up
Yeah.
to me who have watched it. I've had people message me from, I'm not even bullshitting, Philadelphia,
Oh.
who were like, I watched it, and then I told them about the audio issue, and they were like,
Oh. Yeah.
couldn't tell.
Yeah. No.
Well, see, and I was sitting,
would have never known that he did that without
We did-
technically being there.
and
live.
I was
did-
sitting next to him at the show, and I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he was-
incredible.
He was really, and I was really, really sad and disappointed that we weren't able to use that audio. But I mean, it was just.
And I know the problem,
Mhm.
so I know how I can be able to fix that
Yeah,
too.
we have commentary figured out for DPW2.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Because
we
when I thought, I'm like, oh, and I didn't think about it, and afterwards I thought
Yep.
about it. Yeah, that should have been better.
All right.
Yeah, it's totally cool.
Three more people, and then we will see you next week.
Yeah, 3 more people.
It can be wrestlers. It's totally cool.
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Um,
It's fine not to. I mean, some people might say just throw Joey and Sarah out there. We're going to talk about them enough that you don't need to
Well,
necessarily
I
put
think
it in. We're going to do
I
so
think
much
a
with
lot
them.
of people discover them every day.
Exactly.
yeah,
So that's perfect.
I want to pick people that I think really deserve it.
Okay.
Fuck.
The first time this happened to Jesse, I think he might have been so angry and not talked to me for
Oh, he
3
gave
days.
me a table for 3, and it was Masawa. It was
No. It
No,
was,
your
it
top
was, It was
five?
Anoki. It was
Oh, yeah, your
Baba,
top three.
and then it was Muda.
I wanted
Al-
to fucking strangle him.
Alvin Gray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
He's
one.
just a fucking amazing person.
Is that with an A or an E? How does he do? Gray?
That's A.
That's A?
Yep, yep.
Alvin.
Well, no, I mean his last name. I didn't know if it was a Gray with an A or a Gray with an E.
Alex Riley.
Yep. I love that big guy. He's
Oh, yeah.
He's a great conversation. We loved having
Oh,
him
yes.
on the show before DPW won.
And David Sabick.
Okay, yeah, no, totally.
He's my he was my teacher.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I hope people know that he and I have a great relationship, and I'm just stupid, profoundly grateful for the various opportunities that he gave me. And I mean, he plucked a 22-year-old kid off of the street and put me in a position where I was like telling people what they had to do and shit, which was really fucking weird. But
At 22, yes, it can be.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we will see you, sir.
All right.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Love you to death, and we will see you bright and early next week.
Yes, sir. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys.
Yep, nope, absolute pleasure. All right, man. All right, man. You be well. Talk to you. I know.
I'm about to say
Hopefully not.
we cannot get you hurt. We will have hell to pay.
Yes. Alrighty. Okay, so that's first of all always a wonderful time to
Love
have. So
having Eric,
super,
man.
super great.
Eric.
Yep, sweatshirts right there.
By the way, like we keep saying, if you're coming up to town, next weekend's looking pretty nice.
Yeah.
Get your butt to DPW too, man. We'll be there.
I've been holding in a fart for like 2 hours.
Thank you. Go give it to my kids on your
That's what
way.
I've missed.
You can fart on the way
There
out
you
to the
go.
kids. It's all right.
Peace out, brother. All right.
Oh, Lord.
No. For anyone wondering, I once again, I love that we get someone on there that not only wants to clarify what necessarily what we're saying if they don't understand, but also has a completely sort of different idea of what it is.
There we go.
Which is what it is. Now, again, we have said numerous times on the show, we cannot take away from the fact that the Bucks are on our screen each and every week. We just have an issue from a wrestling perspective with them, which is that at this point, we don't even know what to do with them anymore. Jesse, would you like me to get to my top 5 that we talked about 2 weeks ago? Should we just get right into that?
Let's do that.
Okay, so Leroy, you and Jesse are going to need to pay real close attention to this one because Jesse gave me a couple, I believe 2 honorable mentions.
Yes.
And then my top 5. All right. The top 5 worst acts that I currently believe are in AEW.
All right. Are you going to be posting this too? Your list?
We'll post Eric's top 5 and my top 5 afterwards. Jesse, what was the top 5 that you're doing this week? I believe you had one.
Oh, I think I might have forgot.
Okay.
Oh no. It's the 5 women you believe are more over than
That's right.
Britt Baker.
Were you able to get that, or we got to wait?
No. I can actually do that.
Yeah,
now.
but anyway, okay. But before we do that, all right. My honorable mention, and I'm gonna go number 7 with this.
Okay.
Number 7 worst act in AEW. Sorry, boys. It's to quote. You want an actual pen to write this down?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. All right. Number 7. Honorable mention. Worst act. It's Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Jesse. I see too much ability and not enough result. And after almost 2-3 years on the air, Jesse, he should be farther along than this. You have an absolute superstar. We've talked about it. My exact quote was he sells like a 14-year vet. Somebody who literally, in my opinion, is not being fostered. He's not being brought along.
Right.
He's not. If he's working the Nightmare Factory, he ain't doing enough. Because I'm sorry, Jesse, but whether I'm like Eric said, whether I'm a consumer or an actual wrestling person, you cannot tell me you're happy with this kid's progress. You can't, under no circumstances. And now is where
I get why he would be there.
And now is where I break the internet and where these two will just stop what they're doing. Number 6, honorable mention, is the Bucks.
Yeah, you said it was going to shock us, and I want to know why they're not top 5.
So here's the thing. Part of it is they've helped themselves with the same thing that's hurt them. They only do one thing well. They only do one style of match. Yeah. They only have one ability, which is to basically do what they believe is good comedy, but in reality, it's just bad comedy wrestling. What I hate to say is, if these guys... If these guys, Jesse, and this is what I'm starting to form my opinion.
Yeah.
If these guys were on Ruthless Aggression television, or even Attitude Era television, they would be considered a bad comedy angle. That's all they would be. The only reason why they're big is because they made names for themselves, and I'll say it, on the backs of other people.
In a sense, yeah.
They made that million. That's their money. They got paid that money.
Right.
But it's on the backs of other people. It is, and I will never deny that. And I want to get to my top 5 because I think you guys will be really impressed by this. But, folks, I am not taking away from their business. I refuse to because, as Eric pointed out, you can't. There's no debating
like I said, that's not debatable.
But they're a terrible act in the sense that what have they really done that has impressed you in AEW since they've gotten there? If you're not just a stan of the Bucks,
they didn't.
Number 5.
They never impressed me before.
There you go. Number 5, and they're here because they beat the Bucks. Number 5 worst act, it's Private Party. Are you name a more talented team that is just shit on And they were supposed to be the next great, and Jesse, I'll say it, minority tag team in the business.
Yeah.
That's what they were technically advertised as. And remember, because Jim Cornette pointed this out a long time ago when it happened, and he recently had to bring it back up because of the issues involving the Hardys.
Yeah.
The Bucks thought they were putting these guys over, but because of how that match went, Jesse, they didn't put them over in convincing fashion. They put them over in the Bucks method of it's a bunch of false finishes, and they caught him with not an actual finish. They caught him with just a moment in the match.
Yeah.
Private Party are way too talented. They have so much charisma. They found a niche that worked for them. They had a gimmick that was fun. It was energetic, and they've been shit on. They've done nothing of relevance since they got there, except for that first night in that tournament. And by the way, let me ask all the AEW stans. Do you give a fuck about these two gentlemen? And the truth is, you give more a fuck about the two young black kids in NXT 2.0, and they're just running around. And by the way, a lot of the tag teams in the back right now, the underneath tag teams, as Jesse will scoff at because he's tired of Funky Love, they're technically walking around being a bunch of virgins who haven't had sex yet. That's literally the fucking gimmick of half these guys. But Jesse, they matter more than Private Party.
Yeah.
Private Party, no one has been paid more to be a background character than these guys. I'm not saying that Tony Khan has set back black wrestling. That's insane to say. I'm not going to do it. But you have so failed these two kids in everything, and it's because you listened to two idiots out of Rancho Cucamonga.
Right.
Because, boys, I'll call you idiots based on your wrestling in mind, because you ain't got much for what's happening on screen. It sells to a niche audience that hasn't grown, and we'll get to that a little later. But here's the deal. That's number 5. Private Party, I don't care. Number 4. Yes, he has announced that he will probably be out for a very long time because he has 4 big surgeries coming up.
Right.
Kenny Omega is number 4. Jesse, Triple H's reign of terror, at least you remember it.
Right.
I don't remember fucking half of what Kenny did as a world champion. And
now he just had to have another surgery, so he's going to be out even longer.
Well, so far his plan is sinus surgery to hopefully deal with the vertigo.
Well, so he did the sinus, he did the hip, and now he had to do a knee surgery.
And he has a sports hernia surgery coming up as well. So all 4 of those, Kenny's going to be out for a while.
He's going to be out maybe another 8 months to a year.
But Jesse
comes back better. That's good.
Kenny has proven that people around him made him the best bout machine in the world. Because I'm sorry, Dave Meltzer can't save this kid anymore. He can't save this guy anymore from the eyes of everyone. And Jesse, you've gotten angry at Kenny, and now you've gone through the stages of grief till you're at the point of like you're literally questioning what your eyes once saw.
I'm not even at acceptance because like I said.
No, you're not accepting. I'm saying that your eyes are trying to rationalize what they've already seen.
Because my belief still is that he's one of the absolute best pro wrestlers in the world. But he has not been since he's been in well, I'll say this: he has not been since when he became world champion. I thought the match with Moxley was great. Like I said, the whole lights out thing is a cop out to me.
Yeah, I agree.
But otherwise, I got nothing.
Now, number 3.
Yes,
Jesse, I'm sorry. I know you love this man. It's Chuck E. T. and the Best Friends. How many more members are there? Who else are we going to add to this shit?
Is it just Chuck E. or is it Best Friends?
Best Friends. Because right now it's Chuck E. T., Trent, it's Wheeler Yuta, it's Orange Cassidy, it's fucking the guy doing the hot dog in the 8th row.
It's Danhausen.
It's Danhausen. I'm pretty sure Cole was a member for like a week just for shits and giggles. Jesse, what are they? No one has been on more AEW television and literally been shit on more than these guys. And the problem is, like you've said, every guy in this group can be an absolute stud, and they've just it's not 100% their fault.
Why would you do this to me? The Jets have had a good offseason. I'm Jesse, by the way. The Jets have had a good offseason.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my girlfriend showed up, so sorry.
That's fine.
So the Jets have had a good offseason. The Knicks have already pissed me off.
Yeah.
The Yankees already pissed me off, and the season is going to be late.
Yeah.
We're going to get an ice storm on Monday. Why are you doing this to me? Listen. Listen, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
As a group,
Yep.
I don't disagree.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a waste of great talent
Yeah.
because they really haven't done anything of importance at all.
Yeah.
Um,
Jesse, no team has had more chances on TV. I think they had one title match.
they
against
had
the
one
Bucks,
title match a year and a half ago.
but
yeah.
one title match. I mean, like seriously, this is almost as egregious as what's happened to your boys formerly LAX.
Yeah,
This is so bad.
I don't get it.
And you know what's weird?
And getting Danhausen, I thought would be a good thing.
This was actually Chris Jericho's spot, but I'm sorry, Jericho actually entertained us for 3 months. And now he's at least just a parody of himself, so I can't get that mad at him because he finally did what you and I've been asking. They're calling themselves sports entertainers now.
Once you do that, I'm good with everything else.
Chris, go make your money.
You know what? Go make your money. I'm good with it now.
Number 2.
Yeah.
It's the mascot. I'm sorry, Jesse.
Wait, but he's already a part of the number 3.
No. But remember, he was so low for so long that
sure.
Jesse, this
Sure.
guy, look, I have said on the show I have gained a lot of respect for Orange
Yeah.
Cassidy because I have. He's an incredibly talented kid,
Yeah.
and he puts on great matches when
Dealing
he
with
has
the shoulder
people to
injury
work
right
with.
now, so he can't really wrestle.
Yeah, but he injured his shoulder because he just got tossed 30 fucking feet in the air.
Which didn't make any sense.
But Jesse, Tony Khan sees something in this guy that JR's clearly said in a meeting, what the fuck are we doing? Jesse, it's wrestling. He found something that works for him. But Jesse, I know it's the joke in the PWL that people don't like Stone Cold because he never evolved and he never did a flip, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. Jesse, at this point with this much exposure, Vince would have never let a character like this go on this long without any new wrinkle. Jesse, it's a bad act because there's nothing else to it. Jesse, they're trying to get more serious. They're trying to actually bring in real stars, and this guy's still there. Look, if Orange Cassidy wants to go back to the Indies, I'll pay to see him at First Wrestling because there's people there who work with him. They get him. Jesse, they don't know what to do with this guy, but they won't get rid of him. At least Vince would have cut bait with the kid 6 months ago.
Say this, the most egregious thing is that they tried to make him a viable contender to the title. And then they made him look like a viable contender to the title.
And then went right back to the same shit he was doing.
What did I say? I'm like, he's right back to the mid-card now.
Jesse, you cannot tell me this guy can't do more. At this point, Jesse, in the territory days, get yourself on the card by doing anything. But once you're there, someone's got to come up with something better than this.
Right.
And by the way, folks, like I said, I'm the one actually wearing an AEW shirt on the show.
Yeah.
That can be confirmed. A little bit of the bubbly. I own the shirt.
Yeah.
But Jesse, their fans don't care about him that much anymore. You watch when he goes in and does the flake play kicks. They're not reacting the same way they once did that first night. Jesse, it's about the crowd reaction that they don't fucking care about him that much anymore because they're getting real wrestling. They're getting seriousness. Yeah. They're getting the Chris Jericho Comedy Hour, which is now working because it's sports entertainment. He's admitted it. But Jesse, they have the American Dragon. They've got Moxley turned up. They've got William Regal who can still talk anyone out of a building and into a building. But Jesse, no. Orange Cassidy is number 2 because there's nothing. Look, I'm sure there's more to the guy, and I would, like I said, pay to see him. I'm fine with that. But Jesse, on a week-to-week basis, he's getting lower and lower on the card. And Jesse, you know as well as I do, they planned that spot beforehand. He was in that match to be a lawn dart, and then they had to make it a 4-way. Were there 5 or 6 guys in the match? I can't remember.
Oh, for the
Face of the Revolution,
it was 5.
Sonic match. Anyway,
it was 5.
Get that big Sonic ring match.
Sonic the Hedgehog match. Okay, it's 5 guys. It became a 4-way ladder match because they damn near killed the guy. Because Jesse, what did they think about him? Use him as a lawn dart.
Yeah.
He's there as a joke, as a gimmick, but they put him on so much. I'm supposed to care?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I got no answers.
You can't defend how much. The last 2 I've given you, Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. You can't defend me putting them on the worst acts because they've gotten more TV time than fucking Will Hobbs and Jay fucking Lethal.
Oh, I'm not even having that conversation. Jay's back in Impact / New Japan. I'm not even having that conversation.
Number 1.
Oh,
And
yes.
this is an act.
I'm ready for it.
It's Tony Khan.
Oh, wow.
Wow. He's fed me enough bullshit to tell me he doesn't want to be on camera. Fuck you, you do. You want to be Vince so freaking bad, but you don't want to have the same heat. You are lying through your Adderall eyes.
Or cocaine. Like, seriously. Like,
How bad?
he's-
You know what, Big
that's
Swole? You should be
true.
mad he smoked your weed, because that must have been bad weed if Tony's still on this kind of trip. But here's the deal.
Look, he looks like he's on cocaine when he's on
Jesse,
TV.
Yeah, I know.
I've said before, it doesn't mean that he has to put on a suit and a three-piece tie. But he needs to fucking look a little better before he goes out. He should have had Tony Schiavone make the announcement about ROH.
Right.
He should have. Jesse, this guy has a failing football team, has a failing soccer team that they don't want to talk about. You want to tell me that Urban Meyer did all of it to himself? No, look at the environment he was in. It's a shit show to begin with.
Listen, I know he's quote unquote VP of some bullshit for the Jaguars, but that's Daddy's thing, and that'll get turned around.
He was in.
Hopefully.
He was in
he's
the
still
draft room.
Well, no, he's still a part of the organization, but like I said, the reason.
But Jaguars players have called him out on Twitter before.
Well, because they probably don't like him. But here's
Yeah.
the thing. Well, and they probably don't. Football players don't have a tolerance for bullshit, which is why Urban Meyer got fired.
Yes.
But that's definitely more of Daddy's thing. I will say this. It's short list, so I'm cool with Tony Khan there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have put him on it as an act, though.
Here's why I say it.
He's just awkward.
No, Jesse. No, Jesse. Here's why I say it.
I believe he's
No-
kind of an act, too.
But Jesse, here's the deal.
just think he's
no,
awkward.
But Jesse, no person
Well,
in
yeah.
it. But Jesse, if he's not an act, why is he specifically talking so much about stuff on Twitter, on Facebook that he doesn't need to be talking about? This guy wants to be Vince on another level. He does.
Well, here's the thing. Number one.
At this point, Tony Khan is a joke of an act to me because stop talking.
Right.
Oh, by the way, you're the guy who said, I'm going to give them what they want. I'm going to give the fans what they want. The problem is this. Here's why you're an act, and this is why you deserve to be called it. You're the one who talks about growth and ratings. Jesse, at the list I just gave, this is the list I just gave is actually the foundation of all elite wrestling. There's no ratings grab. They didn't hit 1 million this week. Yeah, they were only 7,000 short, but it doesn't go down as 1 million.
Right.
No.
They cannot grow an audience with the 7 acts I just played. Because Tony Khan is as much an act now because they're talking about him as much as they're talking about the show. You can't not be an act and have people talk about you more than the show.
Well, what I wanted to get into with Eric was, we didn't have enough time with him. Was
Yeah.
the fact that
Well, we have to get him not when there's a show within
Right,
7
right.
days.
But my biggest thing is, especially for kind of AEW kind of stands, and he's not really a stand, but he's a big fan of theirs.
Yeah.
Is that you can't grow because you're just not doing enough to grow.
Yeah.
Like, you can add all this talent all you want, and it's great talent that WWE has failed with or whatever, but you can't grow, and yet SmackDown grows.
Yes.
Raw's growing again.
That's
Impact is growing.
That's the thing that nobody in AEW wants
And
to talk about is that when they talk about
NXT
their
is
own,
growing.
Yeah.
NXT is growing.
NXT, I hate to say it, America, when you look at the averages, despite the fact you were like NXT 2.0 is a curmudgeon 70-year-old version, and Jesse, you added curmudgeon, but the rest of America said 70-year-olds are running it. Their ratings, on average, are only now 200 to 300,000 less than Dynamite.
Yep.
And by the way, WWE admits it's developmental. So why the fuck should they be doing 2 million a week? They shouldn't if it's developmental. My point is this. He's an act because he's always talking about the shit. He puts himself in these after interviews with the stars. Why is he there? CM Punk wants to talk shit? Fine. Don't do it next to your boss and fucking put your nose up his goddamn fucking asshole. Why is he Why is he up there with the American Dragon after the American Dragon comes back to pro wrestling for the first time as the American Dragon in over, 15 years at that point? Why is... you tell me he's not an act? He's at every presser. He's setting it up. He is on every fucking backstage video.
Like
he's
I said,
walking out.
I don't consider him. I don't consider him an act because you think he's trying to be Vince McMahon. I think he's trying to be New Japan in the worst way.
Oh no!
Well, there you go.
No,
I mean,
I'll 100% give you that, but here's the problem. He wants to be Vince running New Japan.
Because here's the thing. One, he thank God. One, he isn't featured on television, which is good. Because he is a terrible talk.
Yes.
Two, the presser stuff. New Japan has been doing that for so long, but the problem, like I said, the problem I have with that is they've been doing it for so long, so they know what they're doing.
There we go.
So when I see AEW do this in the way that they do it, it always rubs me the wrong way because I'm like this. Also, at the fact that New Japan has come off as a sports-based product for like 35, 45 years now.
Yes.
So they have a history of coming off as sports-based in their country.
Which Inoki-san always wanted.
Right.
That was the point.
Hell, even Noah comes off as
Yeah.
sports-based.
As you said, you said this was the top worst acts in AEW.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
I'll put
like
that
I said,
up. I'll put that up.
we let Eric have his opinions on things. We let this or that. That is my opinion. I view him as an act.
Yeah. And like I said, it's your list.
Yes.
I have no problem with your list.
All right.
I was just like, I don't know if I would ever. I don't know if I personally would ever consider him an act. Like he's clearly the boss and he's there.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem when you go, I don't want authority figures on television, and where they could have kept Cody happy is Cody be the authority figure. I would have told Cody, like, you're not taking yourself out the title picture. We authority figures work in pro wrestling. Scott D'Amore's he's on Impact making matches and stuff like that. There's no problem with it. Now Billy doesn't do it as much, but Billy also will use I forget his name, Tim Storm, to kind of go as an authority. There's nothing wrong with them.
No.
Now New Japan doesn't use them per se because what they like to do is
but to not necessarily take over your point here, in sports, period, in a sport, the authority figures are an all-knowing thing,
right?
But they're not meant to be out there on the field.
They usually only announce events, or if it's a big suspension or a big injury.
Wasn't Gato technically an on-screen character with Okada for the longest time?
But that was as his manager,
right? Yeah, exactly.
So as far as like the boss, like the head guy, Heiji would actually. It's not Heiji, it's something else. Heiji's the vice president, but
right, yeah.
He'll come on if they're announcing something big,
right?
And stuff like that.
But
because he's important. Otherwise, they'll use Tanahashi to just do
right.
announcements and shit.
But Jesse, in my opinion, he's an.
By the way, that's when you know a guy's an ace in your company. Leroy is. People talk to me about how like, Roman Reigns' run is getting dry. He's no ace. I'm like, Roman is a top guy. First of all, let's get that out the way.
Yeah.
But second, he's not an ace in the same way that Tanahashi is.
No,
because you will never. Stephanie likes to put herself on front, and she's very good, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
She went to school for it. She's excellent at what she does.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things where like, yeah, of course. What the hell does Roman or Brock look like? Can you imagine country ass Brock Lesnar? Yeah, son, we're gonna be in Dallas for WrestleMania. You be like, man, get your big cornfed bed ass the hell up out of here. What you doing, son? But that's not what they're there for. That's not what they're there for. Tanahashi does it because it's more sports based.
Yeah.
So yes, we're coming to here. We'll be here, ace, and it's awesome because he's just got one of the best smiles of all time.
Yes.
But I don't know.
He's an act to me because, like you said, he doesn't need to be doing a lot of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because clearly he's just awkwardly out there.
Right.
But in my opinion, you're an act because we see your face, hell, more than we've seen Vince in the last fucking 15 years.
That's true.
And as far as I'm concerned, you are an act because here's the deal. yes, it's technically a rule by Vince.
Yeah.
How many more fucking heels are going to get cheap heat by mentioning Tony Khan on AEW? Can we fucking stop with the cheap heat of bringing up the fact that the boss is always there, always this, always that? At least Vince is making people get heat by keeping it between them and their opponent.
Right.
They're not adding a level of management to it. He's an act as far as, not that I'm saying he's acting because I think he is this stupid, but the fact of the matter is this. You're an act to me because I don't fucking want to keep hearing shit from you that yes, is part of your show and is on Twitter and all that, but Vince McMahon does not take personal shit from the internet and make it part of his TV. You and I both know Scorpio Sky won because of the Big Swole thing. Come on, Jesse. Are we even going to fucking lie to anyone about that right now?
Well, I don't think anyone could actually go like, that's not why it happened. That's clearly why it happened.
That's my point.
Because the guy probably should have won ages ago. He should have beat Cody ages ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good list.
All right.
Yeah.
So
There we go. See? Is that good?
that'll work. Yeah.
All right. I'll post that.
I think you have the order incorrect though. The order's backwards.
Yeah.
Tony Khan's my number one.
Well, no, I have the numbers right next to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I don't like when people do that. That's just my personal preference. But anyway.
Well,
He's weird.
I know.
Perfect.
That's correct.
But no,
I'm gonna put it up.
so Jesse, so Jesse, we alluded to it in my top 5.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega will probably not be on AEW television until probably 2024,
Maybe.
depending on rehab.
Definitely going to be.
2024. I have not saw that.
Well, so here's the thing. Because, like I said,
He had the shoulder.
When he does the knee and all that, it's going to be an extra 8 months. Because they said this one only takes 4 weeks to heal from.
Yeah.
So
The sinus surgery, it's only going to be about a couple months.
At this point, when it comes to that, it's going to probably be about 6 to 7 months. So we won't see him again until 2023 for sure.
Right. So now,
but he is, making sure he's taking care of his EVP duties. Funny how he still has those, and then
yeah, right.
He is supposed to be taking care of that game. That we finally got another announcement on.
Yeah.
Because WWE, of course, released 2K22. And guess what?
Which, by the way, Kenny, how do you put that over so goddamn hard? But then that's where Kenny lost me in the interview was, dude, I get that it's your game, but you can fucking walk around the 2K announcement. You fucking dove right into how much you love the announcement of 2K and that you're probably going to buy it. What the fuck?
I didn't care about that. You want to know why I don't care about that? The biggest reason why I don't care about that is so say if there was another league comparable to the NBA, right?
Yeah.
And they were coming out with a game and all that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give a shit that they just, their players were talking about how they wanted to, play their game and can't wait till their game comes out.
But here's the deal. I'm going to catch you in this. No offense, but I'm going to catch you in this. At least they would have a game announced.
Well, they would have a game coming out.
That's my fucking point.
But even still, I didn't care that he talked about playing it.
By the time this game comes out, Rampage will be on Hallmark.
Well, because 2K
That could be.
2K literally allowed people to kind of create Kenny Omega as a downloadable character.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it's no big fucking deal. WWE clearly doesn't give a shit.
There we go.
So
Well, I just say after WrestleMania shows, I will do a lovely review of what I think of the game and everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Perfect.
I want to give it time to play it.
If you would like to play with AEW wrestlers in a video game, go get WWE 2K22.
By the way,
Well, there's some a couple people have, and I can't remember JDX and a couple of them tagged. They actually have created a couple of our the
wrestlers here.
No, some independent wrestlers and the Black Wrestlers Matter.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Some of the wrestlers from there
Now-
they've put in that.
now-
Somebody also created
a few of them. So.
AEW arenas.
Also,
that too.
Also teasing for future thing here. New segment that will be on the show after maybe after DPW and after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They like to have their Raw after WrestleMania and make debuts. We'll have a new segment after WrestleMania. It will be the 13 Cards book report, as Jesse has a couple of books he has to review, and we're going to do that live on the show so people can actually listen to your
Reading
thoughts.
through Eric Bischoff's
Controversy Creates Cash.
and then, of course,
Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak and Triumph.
Gotta be like going back to school almost. Shit.
Now, Heartbreak and Triumph, I'm reading again because
Yes.
I only remember half of that book.
Right, yeah.
And then he let me borrow Eric Bischoff's book because I've always wanted to read it,
Yeah.
and I just never got the chance to.
I'm gonna have to go.
great reads
I'm gonna
so
have to go.
far.
I'm gonna have to go get some myself.
Did I not tell you that? Because, again, your biggest fear was that Eric was going to WWE the thing. So far, you've been sort of like, oh, this is legit.
That man, literally, that's an interview I want to try to get because I want to hear those stories just from him.
Yeah.
Like, reading about a lot of what he talks about is so damn informative and also so, like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like,
I think that, and I'm not taking away from what wrestlers that we've talked to have said because their feelings are obviously valid.
Right.
I think that Eric, because there was a lot that happened so quickly,
Right.
he got blamed for a lot of what the wrestlers thought was just him being arrogant.
Right.
I think it was just shit Eric couldn't blame anyone else because there was no one to blame except for the executives above him.
Right.
And you can't blame the bosses.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not saying first of all, we all know that how Eric is felt about in wrestling circles.
Right.
A lot of guys not huge fans of his, but I think that in a business that is so about the inability to be transparent, and that's why so many feuds have happened over the years.
Right.
I think Eric, because I've researched a lot of the stories. A lot of people have confirmed the business stories that he's told.
Right.
I think it's Eric got caught in the middle of Ted Turner wasn't, and this is why Vince has always won. He's been running a wrestling company, whereas everybody else is running a wrestling company under the umbrella of somebody else.
Right.
Titan Towers is to promote the WWE, not to promote a bunch of channels that just has the WWE, SmackDown, and Raw on it.
Right.
The WWE, I mean, Titan Towers has the WWE logo for a goddamn reason.
Yep.
So, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on your book report.
No, I can't wait.
But yeah, no, we do actually wish and hope the best for Kenny. And like I said, maybe, just maybe, and again, on this show, I've been proven wrong 1,000 times, and I'm fine to admit it. Maybe Kenny, when he comes back and he's healthy and the vertigo goes away, maybe that was the issue. Who knows? I'm willing.
That's my hope because, like I said, your eyes never lie to you.
True.
And even when I started to be insanely critical of Kenny, my whole thing was, my eyes don't lie to me.
Right.
My eyes have never lied to me.
Yes.
My heart has lied to me a few times.
Yeah.
My asshole has definitely lied to me a few times. But my eyes have never lied, and I know what I saw in New Japan.
Right.
And I thought I knew what I was getting when he came to AEW, which, by the way, he signed his contract later than the other guys. I want people to remember that.
We are going to keep reminding people that your so-called quote-unquote golden boy
Almost signed somewhere else.
Well, it was the same place that Cody Rhodes just signed to, apparently. But you know what? I as Eric said earlier, I don't often like to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot it. I told you guys 3 shows ago.
You did.
He signed. I told you guys.
And
like 2 or
everyone's
3
reporting the same thing. 10 to 14 days before that came out, Cody signed. Everyone was reporting that. And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong. Dave said it. The Wrestling Observer newsletter said Cody Rhodes has signed with WWE.
Well, he was like, it looks like he's going to go to WWE. And I'm like, everything indicates he's going back. And he's going to sign a larger deal than Kevin Owens. So.
And I've been actually not tagged, but Jesse's name, because of how the Facebook algorithm works now. It's not just in the PWL. It's not just DPW. It's even,
everywhere.
It's even PW Guru. It's Dirt Sheet Radio. Jesse comes up a lot when he's trying to explain to people, well, why not go back?
Right.
You're not going to be buried this time around because again, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash could have come back and Vince could have taken revenge and made them into basically Stardust. but they were too big of. Vince McMahon follows the money.
Right.
The money is in Cody Rhodes comes back, and whether it's the Raw after, and yes, folks, look, if Seth gets left off of WrestleMania, it's not the worst thing. He's still one of the best workers in the company.
Right.
Seth Rollins has learned one thing. I reached the pinnacle. Why would I go anywhere else? Because here's the deal. If Seth Rollins leaves WWE, goes to AEW, he'll be Tyler Black probably. Here's the deal.
WWE owns the licensing to the name of Seth Rollins, so yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He'll either be Tyler Black or he'll be Kobe Lopez.
Right.
Jesse, he knows that's a step down at this point because he knows that Tyler Black is not what Seth Rollins is.
But I will say this.
Yes.
And I get why people think he would go, but the biggest thing he wants to do is have the interpromotional matches. He's not the only one recently. Apparently, Roman has spoken about it. So now when you get two of the bigger names speaking about it, now the ball is in that business guy's court that they just hired.
Yes, yes. In my opinion, WWE will become more of an interpromotional company in the next 5 years.
Right.
Because I think now, for the first time ever, top stars are actually getting in the ear of top executives saying this is what we want, and it's because for the first time in history over the last 10 years,
and I think that's why go ahead, Leroy.
Go ahead.
It's not the first time in history that this has happened.
Well, not saying that. What I'm saying is that for the first time, WWE is in a position where their roster is about 80 to 90% people who not only were from somewhere else, and that's stupid to say because that's always been the case, but for the first time, it's people who were able to get stardom somewhere else because of the internet.
Right.
Because remember, everyone knows that everyone's roster pretty much started somewhere else. We all know that the way it goes, but we never had social media.
Right.
Okay? Nobody would have known about Tyler Black if it weren't for ROH having the distribution that they did at the time.
Right.
So then he goes into NXT, they build him into Seth Rollins, and now all of a sudden Seth
So
Rollins comes out and talks about Tyler Black.
I do believe one of the biggest things is now that the top guys and gals are starting to speak about it.
Yeah.
It's like Marvel right now. It's time to expand on your universe, son.
Yeah.
It's time to start talking about other companies, which is why they started working with Impact again. There has been word that, with talking with Mickey, the rumor is that.
Well, Scott's confirmed himself. There will be more workings down the line.
Well, we're talking with Mickey that they're hoping that she can bridge the gap between them and Billy's to start using some of that talent.
And by the way, I don't think we've talked in the show well enough, and I don't think it's been mentioned. Mickey, more than complimentary of that Royal Rumble experience. I hope there's a backstage thing about that at some point because I don't care if Impact does it or WWE does it, but it seems like she doesn't feel like that was a waste.
Right.
She seems to be okay with that.
I mean, the mention that Bobby Roode was Impact World Champion now recently.
Yes.
I think they are. And like I said, I think one of the big things that came to me from that interview was how with Vince and Pat was just how he was undismissive of other companies nowadays.
Yes,
which is good. He's 70 plus years old. Maybe he's a little late to the party.
Yeah,
he hasn't really had anyone to really talk about because I know Eric mentioned, you guys were mentioning that Monday Night War. I never seen it that way because while for a minute
it ended after 3 months, Spike gave up with it. Spike said we can't.
It wasn't much of anything.
Spike said, and I quote. Spike said, and I quote, "This is way too much prime time for us." Popcorn. Open the bag.
Oh,
shut up and open the bag.
Go ahead, open the bag.
But here's the deal. Even Spike said,
"I wasn't gonna eat your food, but damn."
Well,
that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
I love you.
I get from Misfits.
But that's my point. Even Spike said this is way too valuable of a time slot for us to be giving to you guys because we're not getting the payback on it.
Right.
Especially considering Spike will even tell you.
The cat goes after it. The cat goes after it.
Okay. But my point is this. Even Spike said, you're trying to go to war. We're not behind you. Which is exactly what happened to AEW when they got moved, and everyone was like, "Why did they move them?" Because the network doesn't give a shit about no war.
Yeah. No, I mean, back in the day, a lot of the promotions got together and did a Super Brawl, but they were going against Vince and WWE.
Right.
Now, if they do it, if they work together and have a combination super show,
Yeah.
that would be
Now,
That would be
question.
awesome.
Jesse, you have said, well, you said it 45 seconds ago, he's a little late to the party.
Right.
But is the fact that he's publicly traded, that he has shareholders, and that he's got a large empire to get... Because remember, nobody wants to hear this because Vince is such an iconic person.
Right.
He's got a family that he has to take care of.
Yeah.
He has to make sure that even his granddaughters are taken care of
Right.
because he does care about the family.
Right.
Do you think the fear of the losses is what has cost this integration from happening?
I don't know.
Because like you said, it'd be simple to sit there and say to the wrestler, go to Impact for a night. Go to MLW for a night. Which, by the way, I know Eric brought up the whole lawsuit thing. And again, I know Eric's not here. I'm not trying to bash
Right.
Eric when he's not here. But in my opinion, I think that, and by the way, go check my fucking Facebook. I've said one word this entire time when WWE brought that up in their lawsuit. It's smart because Vince doesn't lose court cases. If it's there to use, he'd be stupid not to say it.
Right.
Does not matter the business implication. He wants to get out of that courtroom. So I've been clear on that. But my point is this: is it as simple as saying to the wrestler, "Go to MLW, go to Impact, but the insurance is on you"? Is it that simple? Can you do that in the wrestling business today?
Legally, it can be done.
Well, no, Jesse. Legally, anything's allowed. A
Right.
contract can say whatever the fuck you want.
Well, it would really be the legality of it. Because though that wrestler is contracted to you, I understand going, hey, listen, you go work elsewhere, not a problem. You can use our name because it's free promotion. We don't care. And
Right.
then we can kind of promote you going to that network to go fight as well.
Yeah.
And it's a nice integration between the companies. But I understand then going, but they're going to insure you.
Yeah.
Because if you get hurt, you didn't get hurt on my watch. Now, either way, Vince has been known to take care of his wrestlers.
Yes.
But I would have no problem with that because it just lets them know.
Because when Seth Rollins had that knee injury, I don't think Seth was at the level of money because he was so new at it.
Right.
I don't know if Vince was really into him that much during that reign at that point. He proved Vince wrong later, in my opinion. But I don't think Seth was getting paid at the level where he was going to be able to handle that surgery and the rehab and everything coming after that. I think Vince definitely had something to do with that, or at least the company did.
Because I know
Yeah.
Keith Lee has recently said, well, they took care of some stuff, but not everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, to be fair,
They didn't have to take care of anything.
here's the big thing with WWE. Because I know people are like, well, the contractor thing and and me and Stephen Colbert, I think, are on the same side where I'm just like, they're large enough where if you want, you can be an employer of the wrestlers.
Yes.
You
Yep.
can go. You can then do your integration and go. Understand though, if you get hurt, working with them, even though we kind of did the integration, that's going to count against them on your health, and they're going to need to pay for that because you didn't get hurt here.
I've said it on the show, and I believe this wholeheartedly. If you could get a wrestling company and you could go to Vince McMahon and talk to him for 5 minutes, if he hears what he wants, he'll work with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the problem that no one has ever understood. In my opinion, and no longer we're talking about him as an act, this is him as an owner. I don't think Tony Khan's going to be taken seriously by Vince McMahon. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think Tony Khan has the business mind that his daddy does. I feel like if Shad...
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
What I gathered from that interview, though, is that his mind isn't close to them.
Oh, no. 100%.
So I think one of the biggest hurdles that would need to be cleared is, I hate to do this to you, Tony, but I think what Tony would need to do is there have been talks between me and Vince. We are talking about an integration program.
Yeah.
Where every now and then we will send each other stars, but we'll take care of the stars that we send each other.
Yeah. Do you believe, and this is a segue, go ahead and finish your statement, but I want to point that out. Go ahead.
And, we'll if we're ever using titles, we're going to be cognizant of each other's plans.
Yes.
That way we don't burn a bridge with that, because that's what burned TNA.
Yes.
Was not just how they use the talent, that they were integrating with, but not telling the partners when they would decide, oh, we're going to change your title's hands. Even if the two the wrestlers are in the same company, not telling your partner is a horrible thing because they shouldn't find out the same night. They should know ahead of time to agree and move on.
Which, by the way, worked in the territory days,
right?
Where, but at the same time, guys would burn other guys, and I think, the territories would still be alive, in my opinion, if, and I quote, they decided, well, Vince took everybody that was our stars, but we still have a big enough pool,
Right.
But Jesse, they never wanted to work with each other.
Right.
That's the death of the death of the territories was if everyone worked together, we had enough star power to survive.
Right.
We just didn't have the star.
Right.
And also, people forget Rick was not in WWE till what, 92?
Real late.
Yeah.
Yeah, real late in his career. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
very
people
late
don't
in his
realize
career.
that Ric Flair could have worked all these territories, all this. The problem is that Vince, in my opinion, has never been money greedy. He's just been cognizant of how much money he can make. There is a difference.
Well, like he's always said, though, if my dad knew what I would turn the business into,
he would have never sold it to me.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
That is true.
But going back to my point, is it as simple to say that it's all on the wrestler and the company who's quote-unquote got the name on the apron?
Mm-hmm.
Can that be simply done? Can you sell that to Vince?
I think so. I really, like I said, one thing I've noticed, and it's like I said, that
Is
interview-
Cody the guy?
Maybe.
Do you think? Because again, here's the deal, Jesse. You reported back when Cody first left and then made that name for himself, and I believe you said it was after Wrestle Kingdom. There was a $3 or $4 million contract on the table for Cody to come back. So WWE is not going to come that far down from $3 to $4 million. It's not like he's going to sign for $500,000.
By the way, I'm telling you, because I know Dave was, making well, he came down on the money, so maybe he didn't sign. I'm like, no, I bet you he signed. And that, like I said 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I bet you he's already done with the deal. Because the big thing I've noticed, because of course there was a photo when they were in Jacksonville, Cody talking about, I'm on my way to Raw.
Yeah.
But what I noticed was the man was in a sling.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, maybe this is why he hasn't debuted yet. Maybe the man went to go take care of an injury.
So you're saying he was backstage in Jacksonville?
So there's a good chance
Good
he was
possibility,
backstage. But yeah, I'm like, apparently he's hurt because him and Brandy were on a plane together.
And he was
He was in a sling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he was hurt. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So I think probably the biggest thing for them, because I think they signed him as soon as they could, was go take care of the shoulder.
Yeah.
And let's see if you can make it to Mania, because I think the plan is, and will forever be, it's going to be him and Seth at Mania.
Yeah. Now, we got a few more things to talk about AEW.
Yeah. Flair started in 91.
91, yeah. Okay, 91. Because he won the Rumble, became the champ.
Yeah.
Now, Jesse.
Woo!
AEW did something on Wednesday that's very WWE-ish. They gave us this big, over-the-top, great pay-per-view match, and they had a title change on a weekly television show. Thunder Rosa, we love you. Congratulations. I don't want to see thumbtacks in wrestling for the next 6 years. Yes, they're real. Not going to debate that bullshit because I already know. I ain't one of those stupid fans.
By the way,
But what the hell was this?
Britt, you didn't have to defend anything. People were already going to defend you, sweetheart. You didn't have to defend shit.
No.
Because that was a stupid-ass comment.
Yes,
Why?
it was.
Why did they have to do it on a Dynamite?
That is my issue, Leroy.
It's my issue too.
Why did this need to be done? I called it, by the way.
You did.
Why
You-
did this
you
need
did.
to be done on
Go back and check.
TV?
Go back and check the
know.
tapes, folks.
I-
He legitimately said.
I was
in a
here,
passing
yes.
comment. He said, "And she'll just get it."
I
on
think
next
that was a show
Dynamite."
me and you just did together.
Yep.
I'm like, she's just going to
Yeah.
get it on Dynamite afterwards, which is stupid. Because you're trying to draw a rating to
Which,
Dynamite.
by the way, Vince did Foley versus Triple H,
Yeah.
and Triple H even said, "Well, I guess more people saw it, but it still wasn't the big money match."
Right.
So again, y'all say WWE makes these mistakes. Now, again, we're not talking to people like Eric. We're talking
Right.
to the stands of AEW
Right.
who are still the quote. And yes, this is all I'm going to give you. 900,000 who will not shut the fuck up about this war, which technically isn't what you think it is, because you're making no traction.
No.
You're not. Congratulations, you're over 1 million once in a fucking blue moon. That's about it. Some good shit. But anyway,
Delicious.
Yes,
but anyway,
it is.
no, Jesse, you pointed this out. You said it in passing, but holy shit, did they make you more right than I think you ever thought you were gonna be?
Because here's my biggest issue. It's you had the pay-per-view,
Which was good.
which was a really good pay-per-view. You know what would have made the pay-per-view better? Her winning it.
Thunder Rosa.
Her winning the brand new championship
Yep.
on the pay-per-view. Why did we wait until we were in her hometown? It's things like this that make me go, this is why you can't get over 1 million. This is sporadic booking. And I don't like I said, I'm done blaming Tony. You want to know why? Because unlike Vince, Tony completely listens to everything and does his booking. So to me, that doesn't mean it's Tony's fault because he's just trying to make sure the company gets bigger by listening to the fans.
Yeah.
It's the fans' fault.
Yep.
You toxic, idiotic, unthinking, need everything quickly because you can't hold your nut when you're with a hot woman fan base. By the way, as we talked about earlier with the thing, not a lot of kids in an AEW crowd, is there?
Very few, if any. Not a one.
How are you going to survive?
That's the point that I was trying to get at. Look, don't get me wrong. Eric's idea,
Eric has made a lot of great points.
not to mention the fact that makes you a lot of money in the current.
Yes.
But when I said I'm serious about the 4-year-old, I'm thinking long term.
Right.
But in the 20-year gap that I think Eric was thinking in, I was thinking 30 to 40 years. But in the 20-year gap, I'm not saying that he probably is going to beat me in that 20-year gap.
Right.
No denying that.
Right.
But the other issue that comes up is Leroy. You and Eric back and forth was great, by the way. I actually want to get that more often. That was fantastic.
That was amazing.
Okay.
But here's
All
the
right.
deal. The one thing that neither of you brought up that I didn't want to bring up because I didn't want to interrupt this. Is 90% of the time it's disposable income. Your bills get paid, then you buy wrestling.
Yeah.
At 18 years old, you ain't got that much disposable income because very rarely are you in a position like Leroy where you've been in working long enough to where someone's paying you for experience.
As someone who's broke right now, I know.
Yeah. Your disposable income at 18 is like $5-10.
That's not a lot,
That's it.
especially when you live
And
in a college town.
And I can get you shit.
It's not a lot.
When I was younger, $5-10. Oh, that went long.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it get you a burger.
What about
That's it.
Get your burger with some fries and maybe a Coca-Cola if you want it.
Yeah.
But my point is,
It's here's the thing.
yeah.
Because
By the way, first and foremost, congratulations, Thunder Rosa.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
fucking love you
Yes.
because you are easily. And by the way, I don't blame WWE for giving her a referee job because people have to understand when they offered that she was not this Thunder Rosa.
well, by the way, 'cause
When
I know people bring that up.
What I
but
didn't
yeah.
say earlier when Eric was here, I wanted to was. I'm glad that Sierra's not signed right now or Joey because, in my opinion, they're in Briscoe territory. They'd be dumbed down.
Yeah.
No matter what you give them, it's not as good as what they are now.
I agree.
But that's my thing. She wasn't that way yet. She
Right.
wasn't Thunder Rosa. She was
Right.
whatever Thunder Rosa's real name is at the time.
Right.
So I don't blame them for offering referee.
Right.
Now, if she walks in the door as Thunder Rosa,
Right.
oh, she getting some money to go to the main roster. Ain't no
Right.
goddamn
Right.
question about that.
I
But she
agree.
wasn't Thunder Rosa. That's
Right.
why Alexa Bliss was offered a referee job, but then they realized, oh, this bitch is charismatic. She can do this shit.
Well, what she did, like I tell people, and you can try to take some of the same routes. Either they'll cut you and release you,
she
or
got in somehow.
or you'll get in.
Yeah, she
and
got
that
in
was
somehow.
she said, "I'll work as a manager and just keep working on my in ring." And now she's the Alexa Bliss we love. Well, I love, and has had a lot of success. First of all, Thunder Rosa absolutely.
People forget she reached the mountaintop before the Four
Yes, she
Horsewomen
did. She absolutely deserves the spotlight. Of course, it was going to be Thunder Rosa that beat her for the title. And it was an excellent match. Do not get me wrong. Some people are a little bit harder on the thumbtacks than I am. I am getting tired of them overusing that trope.
I'm getting tired of Jesse. Paul Heyman knew that the Dudleys were about tables,
Right.
But the Dudleys, because you remember a lot of these shows,
Mm-hmm.
we all watched them. Those tables didn't come out on a random fucking ECW.
No.
They saved them motherfuckers for Barely Legal.
Right.
They saved them for every other pay. No,
Right.
I'm not saying it was only pay-per-view, but the Dudleys didn't light a table on fire
Right.
every fucking night that they were on television.
No, they
That's
saved them
my
for the-
point.
They saved them for big moments.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Can you imagine if Paul had the AEW roster? And I'm serious.
All I say, watch Raw during the pandemic. Don't tell me it's not a better show than what AEW is now.
Yep.
Because when Paul had Raw, that's how you use young talent and integrate it with the veteran people. And he was doing an amazing job, and apparently Vince just lost his patience on it.
I also say this. I think the biggest reason why Ricochet is where he is, and the only reason, and I'm not putting words in anyone's mouth. Only reason why I think he is where he is now, and they do have bigger plans for him. Paul advocated for him when he was in that pandemic era.
Also, it's just perseverance.
Yes.
Like, in WWE,
Ricochet's got an old school mind for this shit.
In WWE, it's all about perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, every now and then you're going to be given a stupid fucking gimmick because there's two other really old white guys that are telling the one white guy that used to be very revolutionary that they should do certain things.
Yeah.
But they clearly haven't understood wrestling since the early 90s, and I'm not going to get into
And
them.
I think Ricochet has proved himself that, he's carrying a mid title. He has carried the mid title in NXT.
Yeah.
He's carried both of them
A
on
guy
the
like
main
that-
roster.
A guy like
He
that will
can
eventually
hold
be
that
world
big
champion.
belt.
I'm sorry.
He can do it.
You can't convince
He
me
can do it.
that he won't be, because like Jesse said, I think that some way Gato will give Toru Yano the belt.
He will be IWGP Heavyweight Champion. It may only be for 2 weeks, but we're going to get it.
And it'll
There
be the
you go.
greatest.
It'll be the
It'll be the
greatest,
greatest
2
2
weeks.
weeks
I
ever.
don't
New Japan
care.
Oh,
wrestling.
I
yeah.
don't care if he wins it and then loses it before the next show. That'll be Yano Appreciation Day.
Gato might do it for a month, and they'll just be like, let's just run with this, and Okada's just going to beat him,
Yeah.
but let's just run with this thing.
Let's do it.
Here's the thing. It's perseverance. It's the ability to prove how great you are, and Thunder Rosa has done that time and time again. There's nothing to take away from Britt Baker.
No.
My biggest problem with this match...
Well, sadly, you're about to take away from her later once we're done here. But go ahead.
But that's not on her.
No.
Yeah.
But sadly, what knocked this match down a notch to me as I'm watching it was, but why do this on fucking free TV?
Yeah. I agree with it too.
I know we got.
Remember, Revolution made a lot of fucking money on pay-per-view.
Yeah, $8 million they said.
Yeah.
They
But-
did really well.
But why do you take something that I didn't pay for, but why do you take something why do you take something that
Ditto.
technically we were supposed sorry Tony, but guess what? There's about 1,000 ways to see your shit for free. It's not that hard. But here's the deal. You made someone pay for something that you literally changed 72 hours later.
Like I said, this moment I would have not given away on free TV.
Oh hell no.
There's just no way.
Especially considering it also devalues all the hard work that Britt Baker did.
I
You
don't.
shit on her more than you shit on Thunder Rosa.
I don't understand it. But let me get to my favorite thing of the show. Jericho admitting while trying to slam on WWE at the same time. Jericho just admitting of what AEW truly is. Sports entertainment.
Chris,
Thank you.
thank you. We still won't listen to Fozzy that much, but thank you.
I'm done listening to Fozzy. And it's not their fault. I've always thought he was not a great singer. And now that he's helping them to write for them, it's terrible.
He's a yeller. That's what he is.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
But thank you. This is all I wanted.
Sadly, take out Daniel Garcia and replace him with literally anyone else. But
Daniel Garcia is much better and doesn't deserve this group. He deserves to be in the group with John and Brian.
Uh-huh.
But
by the way, boys, to the IWC.
I don't want to hate on Jack Swagger. I like Jack a lot.
No,
right?
I wasn't talking about him. Okay, guys, guess what? 2.0, literally in the same place they were when they were in NXT.
Really,
They are what they are.
Right.
The fact that anyone thought they were going to go to AEW and be anything different than when NXT was
Right.
already using them, folks, they are who they are. Congrats on them making some money doing it.
By the way, they're great at it. But
Oh, yeah, they're fantastic at it.
But also, let me say this.
I'm going to put 2.0 are my Yano, if not for Cameron Grimes. They're my American Yano.
Jack is a terrible fucking promo.
He's awful.
Like, people can tell me that Brock feels awkward now as he approaches 50.
I actually haven't hated Brock talking.
But I think Brock is still very entertaining when he speaks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Jack
Especially with the door.
Jack is a terrible fucking promo.
Yeah, it's,
And it hasn't improved
no.
since he was world champion on SmackDown. Like, he is a god-awful promo.
He's bad.
But
Chris, we'd like to thank you from our hearts in the sense that you became the first AEW wrestler to just do what we've been asking for fucking 3 years.
call it sports entertainment.
Just call it what it is.
And I'm good with it.
Yep.
I'm
Same
good
with me.
it.
I'm
gonna
happy.
be a lot nicer at these shows, except for when they mess up as bad as they did with the Thunder Rosa thing. That was egregious.
Instead of saying sports, if they would have been like, we're a sports-based entertainment, a wrestling sports-based entertainment company, I would have. I would. You know what I would do at AEW every week? I would treat it like it's WWE. And I would be like, oh, but you just have more indie wrestlers, so it's a lot of different style matches.
Yeah.
But I would have been cool with that.
Yeah.
Just say, hey,
Yep.
we're a wrestling sports-based
those
entertainment company.
And for those of you wondering, Jesse is still searching for the drugs and the person that said that the Midnight Express was a lesser tag team than the...
Because I want those drugs.
I got a different kind of drug. I don't need to think like that.
Like,
right now.
but those drugs seem so amazing. It would seem that great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
that's
getting
exactly
at?
what
Like,
you mean, yeah.
Because to say something that stupid and illogical takes a lot of great drugs.
It does.
And I just want some of
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Okay, see,
But no.
I see. My drug is she came in here, she smelled real good, looked good, and I'm happy.
Now,
That's
Jesse,
all I can say.
from a sports-based presentation, because that's what they fucking are,
Oh, yeah.
as I call them, they are Dynamite 2.0, or Raw 2.0. The soon-to-be Dynamite 2.0, once known as Ring of Honor. Tony Khan has promised us weekly television Ring of Honor.
Which is fine.
Quick question. Based on everything we know, and this is fact, no one can argue this. And no, Tony does not have final say. Shut the hell up. Is this the end of the Briscoes in Ring of Honor?
I think so.
Unfortunately, I agree with it.
I
yeah.
think so.
Now,
Those TV execs seem to be very clear they
I
don't want
would
them on
like to
television.
reiterate. Jim Cornette.
Which is very interesting coming from the Turner family
Yeah,
of all
right.
fucking places.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
First of
yes.
all, Jim Cornette has said the first ever $1 million tweet was Jay costing them $1 million with WWE. But it's been fucking 10 years. Jay has more than apologized.
Right.
Jay has grown up.
Right.
Leroy, you love your two kids.
Yes.
And I think Jim was correct in saying,
Especially, that one right there is
Yeah,
really
right.
good.
right? Now, Jim explained both tweets. Jesse, you understand what happens when traffic gets backed up in New York.
Oh, it's annoying.
You can also understand what two boys from southern Delaware would think when the first time that they went to New York.
Listen, it's not even just them. I mean, the things I would have said in traffic in 2004 is
Right, exactly. But
yeah,
also,
it wouldn't be nice to hear today.
But also, to the other thing, and Leroy, I am not here to bash on what you believe because you are one of the best Christian people I know. But when you look at the bad, and this is not me going on a diatribe, when you look at the negative parts of religion, the idea that someone is lesser than you because of what some book ultimately says, again, you know me, I'm not offending you when I'm saying this. Yes, I know it's misinterpreted. I'm not here to argue what the book said. It's misinterpreted. In all due respect.
It's no. The book isn't misinterpreted.
Okay.
It is the way the book is interpreted
Fair enough.
by people that isn't correct.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, that's fair. But my point is this. Jay and Mark, for as nice as they are, for as good guys they are, and Jim actually pointed out, and if you actually listen to his non-wrestling interviews, Mark Briscoe's a goddamn genius. Holy crap, is Mark a fucking person to listen to.
He's very likable.
I don't think, and to quote Jim, I don't think the Briscoes hate anyone.
No.
I just think that when something happens and you think about your kids and based on how you grew up, you were given a very, very kind version of religion. They were given a much more conservative version of religion. I can see where Jay would overdo it on Twitter. Yes, he still shouldn't have said what he said.
Right.
But I can get where he's coming from. And to quote Jesse, it's coming from the Turner family. Not really sure where you people
They
fall
really
in the
have no
moral
leg
world.
to stand on as far as morals.
Well, yeah.
I don't think the Briscoes hate a goddamn soul on this earth. Jay has not only apologized, he has tried to make amends for years. He's worked shows with people of all race, religions,
The most
creeds.
egregious thing that's about to happen is FTR is going to win the ROH tag team titles. And they're going to win them solely because the Briscoes aren't going to be on television. That's how I know they're not going to be on television. So for those who don't know, FTR are supposed to face the Briscoes for those titles.
Super Card of Honor.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're going to win. FTR is going to win those titles, just so you know.
Yep.
And that's the only time that AEW will have any affiliation with the Briscoes after that.
Yep.
I think the Briscoes, unfortunately for them, either they're going to stay on the indies, maybe do some stuff with Impact, or you're going to have to go to WWE. But otherwise, you're not going to see them in AEW.
Because I think even Vince is like, it's 10 years ago. I know the fans don't care.
I was about to say, all you got to do is watch WWE television on USA from 20 years ago. I think you're willing to let a lot of shit go.
Well,
Yeah.
it is.
And also, if they threw him on Raw, USA's hurting for ratings right now. They kind of need the WWE.
I'm about to say, they might not care.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody talking about this, about whatever. It's like, what I teach my kids and what it says in the book.
Yeah.
Love your neighbor. Everyone's your neighbor. Treat everybody like you want to be treated.
Right.
That is true. And also, when asked how much should I forgive somebody, 70 times 7.
Okay.
There is no limit of how much you should forgive and forget, because people are people.
Yeah.
You still love them no matter what. And yeah, he said some things that wasn't right. Yeah. He says, "Oh God, I screwed up."
Yeah.
He admits he was wrong.
Jay
There we
Briscoe.
go.
Okay, seriously, Jesse, you've followed it longer than me because I got into the Indies late because of just the exposure.
Right.
Could he apologize any more at this fucking point for this?
No, he's.
No, I
I
don't-
think,
He's
I
donated.
don't think so either.
I think he's fine.
He's donated money. He's talked, and again, to quote Jim, he hasn't talked to every gay wrestler in the world, but he's apologized. He's made amends. He's done. There's nothing more a man
Devin
can do.
Moore and a couple of the other, prominent gay wrestlers have said they have no problem with him. Like,
No.
it happened. He said it. Like, he has apologized. He's clearly turned a new leaf on this. Like I said, the only issue I have with them not being allowed on television, that is coming from Turner of all people. I think that is the highest order of bullshit.
let's-
The same network that bores me with fucking baseball, with bad baseball, not good baseball, bad baseball in the
There we go.
summer.
Yeah.
Okay, to me that's offensive. That you would put 8 hours of that on and bore me half to death.
Well, I say, let's get the Briscoe in WWE. Briscoe, Uso. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
'cause
wanna
don't-
see
I don't-
that.
I don't. The New Day feels like a dead faction until Xavier comes back.
Well, no.
They'll be back.
No,
but
no, he's back. He's been on live events.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cause,
Yeah.
There's been a picture of him in there. At least I think.
okay, yeah.
If-
'Cause
if
I don't know if he
seen,
can't
yeah.
wrestle yet, but he's not wrestling yet,
'cause
but
the,
soon.
the Biggie injury, well, it's bad. It's starting to look Edge bad, and that's nerve wracking. Because remember, it took Edge 10 years to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But no, if we get the Briscoe signed, them against Usos,
yeah,
Briscoes against
I don't think people understand when you look at
yeah,
the
yeah.
consistency.
my brain. I had a brain fart there for a second.
Usos, Jesse,
Los Lotharios, Viking Raiders.
don't even look at me and tell me Los Lotharios couldn't have a great match. With the
They would have an
Briscoes.
excellent match with the Briscoes.
Street Profits
Street Profits
and Briscoes.
I would even give you Boogs and Nakamura because you know what?
RK Pro.
Oh yes.
Now,
So a lot of good tag teams right now. Actually,
Oh my God,
WWE
yes.
kinda
now
interesting.
on the other side of
The
this,
Academy.
We have all right. So we're gonna transition
Yes.
to something, but on the other side of this, it's a
Shush.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to do that.
Thank you. It's a. This is a quick commercial break for Leroy to give us a little day in wrestling history. But before that, Jesse,
Yes.
where else maybe if they make the right phone calls and possibly download an app or two,
There we
where
go.
where do you think the Briscoes could end up? Maybe somewhere down
In Vegas, doing Dark Arts Entertainment. Dark Arts Entertainment, run from the Great Academy of
Super Beast Training Compound.
down there in Reno, Nevada. Dark Arts Entertainment also provides you with sideshow entertainment and is also 420 friendly. I was about to say I was doing okay.
Yeah, no, you're doing all right.
There we go. Need a little
Dark Arts
extra
Entertainment
help.
presents Live Pro Wrestling Monthly at the Super Beast Train. Also, they just announced, I believe, in May.
Yes.
By the way, they're starting to fill out the card. I may go to this. I'm trying to wait because I was given a little nugget of a fan who kind of knows about these, who talks to Super Beast and a couple of wrestlers. There's a show in June that they want to do with some mega guys, with some mega superstars, women, and I want, like I said, I want to get to at least 2 of these. But presents Live Pro Wrestling Monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound, located in the Arts District of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. A hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts Entertainment shows also include live bands, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and more. And as always, you can always go smoke a little herb, smoke your little trees, and enjoy a fun show. Come see top talent and matchups you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas, which is true. For more information or to get tickets, head over to darkartsvegas.com or grab our official mobile app from the App Store or either iOS or Android today. So, like I've been telling people, if the app is down, go to Facebook. They will actually allow you to buy a ticket through Facebook as well.
Cool.
So there are open options right now. It's welcome to the world of technology.
There we go.
You build you have great programmers try to build an app. It works for the longest time, and all of a sudden you just start having issue after issue after issue. So yeah, like I told people, May coming up is a monster show coming up. But June, like I said, I can't talk about the talent that was rumored to me, but it's huge. I mean, it's big time stuff. And I promise you will catch me. Actually, I will announce which show I will go to. Trust me, if I can bring Zach and the lady, I'm going to do it. The lady might not like Sin City as much, but I think Zach will.
She might like Sin City.
Well, Zach's not a gambler, which is good for him because I am. So I'm going to need somebody to pull me out of there. But
hard to believe this, despite everything you hear on this show, and everyone will confirm this. I'm actually the moral voice of reason, and it's really fucking weird.
It's really weird.
I know, because I don't mind
I'm an asshole,
gambling.
but I'm the moral voice of reason. Shows you how low Jesse might actually be.
Well, Leroy's the guy who's experienced a lot of life, so he's a very positive big brother. You're the voice of reason, and I'm the guy that's going to get in a lot of trouble at some point when we start making a lot of more waves. But yeah, so
we start making money on this. Like I said, Jesse can make a little more, and Jesse going to use that little more.
Man, you guys are going to be talking about me on the news like, I mean, we love him, but I don't know how many times I have to whoop his ass and just tell him to stop.
Do you know this guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
Damn it.
Oh, it's okay. We'll just call you Mama.
Oh, that's dirty.
She'll whip your ass.
She will. Even at 50 years old.
You don't mess with Mama. Don't mess with Mama.
But yes, Leroy, today in wrestling history.
All right, we got a couple little tidbits here. And I hope I got this right. 27 years ago, WrestleMania 10.
Ah, yes.
This is a very interesting one. It was a first WrestleMania that did not feature Hulk Hogan.
Yes, it was.
Very interesting. But
Best
the unique.
Mania ever. I'm kidding.
All right, shush.
I'm kidding.
All right, the lovely twist
You
that
hate Terry, not Hulk.
Yes.
There we go. The lovely twist they had it resulted from the Royal Rumble where there was 2 winners where they had a coin flip to see who would do it, and I think Luger wrestled Dickerson early, lost, and then Bret Hart wrestled him later on in the show and actually won the title.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. And let's see here. Yeah, and they had.
And also,
then both of them had 2 matches that night too.
Yeah, and also
crazy.
Despite everything we've said about some of the things he's said in his older age, our hearts go out to the Hart family after losing his niece. That was a very rough situation. Please, if anyone out there, understand this. Leroy's a really good dad.
Yeah.
If you feel as though it's not in you or it's not something you want to do, please don't let your kids suffer for stuff that you may have done. I don't actually necessarily know what Brett's or what went on with Brett's family there, but the thing is that the kids don't have to suffer through things of stuff that goes on. It's like, I hate to be that guy, but I actually am from the world of belief that if you just don't want to be a parent, say that, because that might be the best thing for your kid.
There we go, yeah. And also on that show, it was one of the...
Again, I don't actually know what happened, but Brett is the one that has said that.
The story is really complicated.
Yeah, but basically it's just one of those things where it's like, please do not let anything that you do affect your kids, because they are not the ones that deserve to go through the stupid bullshit. There's no reason for that. But our hearts go out to the Hart family and everything that they're having to deal with right now, because it doesn't matter what Brett says about wrestling. This is not about wrestling.
Right.
There you go. Also on that match, and it was significant, it was the first time ever was actually on a pay-per-view, it was the Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels ladder match for the Intercontinental. It was at this pay-per-view. Yeah. And that was the thing you said on there. I said it has been done before, but it's never been on a pay-per-view and in that scale.
Right.
So
also, it's still,
plus, I believe there were 2 Intercontinental Championships.
Yes.
Yes, there was. Unification to retain it.
And also, again, it's still in everyone's top 5.
It is. It is.
It's crazy. Go to Peacock. Go to the Cock, and watch that match. It's crazy.
I love that.
Thank you, Pat.
And then...
It's the Cack.
Oh, yes. And then we all would love to wish a very happy birthday to this guy that we know really well, Steve Borden, otherwise known as Sting.
Hey.
He is 63 years old today.
63 years old.
He ain't going to make it to 70.
Ain't going to make it to 70 if he keeps doing bumps like that.
Mm-hmm.
He might not make it to 65.
The one thing I have to say about this, though, Jesse, is give him credit.
Also, I have another wrestling day in history.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't on this day. It was for a couple days ago.
Okay.
But go ahead.
But yes, the one thing I will give Steve 100% credit for, he's not bashed WWE one time.
No.
There's no recorded evidence that he is angry about how it ended. He's not mad. It is what it is.
Right.
He has just kept going, and he's let that be what it was. So credit to Sting on that.
And I love this Stinger.
And and we have another friend that has a birthday later on this week, about 5 days. Rampage.
Oh, yeah, Rampage Santana.
About 5, just before we see him next Sunday, it'll be his birthday.
That's a perfect time to maybe do his interview. But also, this day in history for the 17th. Leroy, you can move to the side. This is me and Zach now start to feel old moment. Zach, do you remember Hulk Hogan versus The Rock in Toronto?
I do.
Do you remember what year that was?
Off the top of my head now.
2002.
Yep.
So on 3/17/2002 was WrestleMania X7.
It's been 20 years.
Rock Hogan, Hall, God rest your soul, versus Austin. And, of course, the main event that was overshadowed by Rock Hogan, Jericho versus Triple H. That was now 20 years ago.
It's officially now almost old enough to drink is WrestleMania 10 or WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, wait a minute. In some places, you are still old enough to drink at 19, but
That's
Canada,
they've changed that.
Yeah, you're in Canada. It's also real booze up there. But anyway,
no, I removed Leroy from that segment because he's looked 40 for like 100 years now. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, at least I'm staying consistent.
So you're staying at a really good clip.
No, you're looking great.
30 years old. So.
Now, on the other side, Jesse, it is time, my friend. I would like to once again set the scene because I'm going to give Jesse a hell of an intro here.
Okay.
We know the women that are clearly over Britt Baker.
Right.
It's not a fucking debate. 4 horsewomen.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, I'm sorry, she is. Get over it.
Right.
Basically, Jesse, you are going to give us a top 5 of women you believe, not through any fault of Britt Baker herself, but through the bookings of our Booker of the Year. This alone should have disqualified him for it, because guess what? You don't care about women's wrestling the way you think you do. Thunder Rosa, please save us from Tony Khan's and Kenny's bullshit.
Right.
Are you writing this one down?
Yes. But
Okay.
here's the deal. Rhea Ripley is essentially your mark. She is the end of where you are basically going to be naming women.
Okay.
So basically right now it's Liv Morgan down because as we've said, Alexa Bliss is above Britt Baker. Don't tell me Alexa Bliss ain't more
Bliss
over.
would be in the 4 horsewomen category.
Exactly. So, Jesse, 5 women that are more over than Britt Baker, and here's the deal. one more time, I'm going to make this clear to all you people out there. Don't sit there and tell me she's better than Becky, because we all fucking know she ain't.
Right.
She's not as over.
No.
Because here's the deal. If you debuted Britt Baker right now, and then Becky followed her out to the ring, it'd be a bigger pop for Big Time Bex.
Without
I'm
a
sorry, it would. It's not even a debate.
Right.
We're not trying to take away from Britt Baker because
no.
this list is not her fault.
Right.
This list is once again on Tony Khan's shit list.
Right.
So, Jesse, are we starting from 1, 2, or just going to go from 5?
I'm going to go from 5 to 1.
Okay.
Number 5. Number 5 is Jordan Grace. Is there any debate that if Jordan Grace... So, Britt Baker comes out on AEW television to cut a promo.
Yeah.
Talks about, I'm going to eventually get my title back, but, the butt whooping is open for any woman in the back. And Jordan Grace's music hits. That's going to be a pretty damn loud pop.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be an insanely loud pop.
Mm-hmm.
Just because maybe some people don't watch Impact. By the way, it's not like you don't have access to it. Doesn't mean that she's not more over. She came out as the next feature for WWE from Impact. It's going to be pretty damn loud of a pop.
Oh, yeah.
So Jordan Grace is number 5.
Okay.
And I don't need to discuss her accolades. They're set in stone.
Yep.
I also don't need to talk about her assets. They're thick. So, number 4.
Cake.
Heel.
I said assets. That was good enough. I just
Cake.
have to add cake to it.
Cake.
Heel.
Number 4.
There's
I
a
know.
cat in here, but I'm going to throw water on you. That's not okay.
No,
Down,
you don't
boy.
need to.
Number 4.
She's not complaining about that.
Number 4.
All right.
So, number 4 is a little out the box, but I think it's now warranted. Dewdrop.
Oh.
Dewdrop gets a reaction. Not always positive, not always negative, but she gets a reaction.
Yep.
I would say...
If Dewdrop walked into a wrestling event right now, and you had half WWE, half AEW, there'd be more of a reaction to Dewdrop than
There would
Yeah.
there would be a little bit more to Dewdrop than Britt Baker.
Yeah.
But that's also because that crowd also knows her as Piper Niven. So, I'm not actually going to get into why. That crowd knows who she is.
Yes.
Even if you don't watch her on Raw, you know who she is.
Yep.
So Dewdrop is number 4. Number 3. I'm going to go to the world of NWA.
Okay.
Ooh. I love it.
I think Sienna, if she shows up on AEW television, gets a louder pop than Britt Baker. So for those who don't know, Sienna is one of the last of the modern NWA World's Women Champions.
Yes.
Sienna also used to work with Britt in Impact.
Yep.
Sienna, also, if you're wondering about, what she's been up to, you can also find her streaming on Twitch.
Yes.
Under her actual real name, which I don't remember right now.
Okay.
Allison K. Sorry.
Yeah.
So special, just special talent. Has chose to kind of work in the smaller scene, which is fine. I always respect wrestlers that are like, you know what, I do make enough money just traveling the scene.
Well, that was basically why Jay Lethal never signed with
Right.
WWE.
Right, like I can just travel, do what I want, take my breaks when I need to, like no big deal. But she is one of the best talents out there. It's really not even a discussion. Now, some people thought maybe I would put Mickie James here, but that's just a given.
She's in that category of
She's above the horsewomen, so Mickie James is pretty well solidified.
Because here's the deal: the woman's 42 years old. You wouldn't fucking know it.
Oh, no,
So I'm going to throw some names out here before I even get to Mickie James. Trish Stratus, is she still wrestling?
Technically, yes.
But is she still wrestling on a major level?
No.
No.
Molly Holly, is she still wrestling on a major level?
No.
No.
Victoria, is she still wrestling on a major level?
No.
Tori Wilson,
No.
No.
Stacy Keibler,
No.
No.
Want to know who's still around from that era? Mickey James.
Yep.
That says all you need to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And still going at a high level.
Oh, high level. She's arguably top 5 in the world right now.
Like, just insane what she's been doing. Number 2. Rosemary.
Oh. Very interesting.
Rosemary is a legend. Like, number 1, the first round of credit to her is the fact that she has been loyal to Scott and rebuilding that thing down there in Tennessee, because she could have left.
And
So,
no one would
have blamed her.
No one would have said a
Nope.
word.
And she stayed because she saw Scott's vision for reimagining Impact and turning it into something that couldn't succeed against WWE, which was originally his plan. And he just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to just focus on making this the best it can be."
Mm-hmm.
And she stuck with it. And I think Scott understands, like, I owe her everything for that.
Oh yeah.
Because she stuck around, you got your Kylie Rays that decided to go up down there and continue to develop. You got your Kiera Hogan's, your Jordan Graces to go down there. Like, Rosemary is very, very big to the wrestling community. If she shows up, that's gonna be a very, very loud pop.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just great. I unfortunately, so I went to an Impact just years and years ago, but I did not get the chance to meet her like I wanted to, because she's actually kind of a hero of mine, just because I respect people that go, I want to do my own thing and make it as successful as possible, and Impact is a part of her baby. Now, some people would think maybe I should have added Madison Rayne to that. I actually don't believe Madison Rayne would ever get a larger pop than Britt Baker.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
She's a legend, but I don't think she ever gets a big pop. Nor Angelina Love, or the other one of the beautiful people. And that's not a shot against them. They were kind of doing women's pro wrestling in a serious way when WWE wasn't, but unfortunately there wasn't a lot of eyeballs on them when they were doing that.
Yeah, there wasn't, no.
Number 1, Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae.
And you're not even just saying this because she's Johnny's wife.
No, it's Candice LeRae because it's Candice LeRae. When that baby stomach heals, and she is, inevitably just called up to the main roster, you'll see what I'm talking about. Hell, their fans will react in such a way on the internet. You'll be like, "Hey, wasn't Britt Baker just the women's world champion in your company that got herself over? And you guys seem to have completely forgot about that now that Candice LeRae is back." Yeah, Candice LeRae, one, if there was an Independence Hall of Fame, she deserves to be in it. Just taking the bump from Cedric Alexander alone would put her in that Hall of Fame.
To quote Jesse, the true miracle is she was able to have a child after that.
Her back, I thought her back was broken. I mean, God, just my God. I thought we all were like, she's dead.
Jesse,
pin her, dude.
Jesse, I'm not saying this because this is going to be funny only because it's true. You were about to commit black-on-black violence because you thought that he actually killed that woman.
I think we all were. we were like, dude, what did you do?
You were about to rush the ring.
Cedric, chill, bro. But yeah, listen. There is so much positive I can say about Candice LeRae, and we don't even have time. But Candice LeRae, if she shows up to AEW, automatically you're like, she should probably be the world champion. She should be the women's world champion because she automatically makes it credible. That's not a shot at Thunder Rosa, but it's just like she automatically now legitimizes everything about this women's division.
Yes.
My two honorable mentions. One is within AEW. That's Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander is insanely loved, and she should be. Like I said, I got to see her 6 years ago. I can't even. Was it a first wrestling show? I can't even remember. But it might have been first wrestling, or was that the show I went to in Chicago? I think it might have been the one I went to in Chicago.
Okay.
But like I told you about, Zach, when I saw her all those years ago, I thought back then, like, damn.
By the way, did they finally do something that proves that she's not an alien anymore? Did they ever do anything with that?
Yeah.
Or okay.
So she doesn't wear the eye makeup.
But it
Yeah, I
took,
saw that. Yeah.
but it took a damn near month before they did something that showed she wasn't an alien.
And she also now has strictly black hair.
Okay.
And then she wears black article clothing. But she's not a heel. So they have made some strides in that. But so number 5 was Jordan Grace. Number 4 was son of a bitch.
Dewdrop.
Thank you, Dewdrop. Number 3,
Sienna.
Number 2,
Rosemary.
and number 1,
Candice LeRae.
perfect.
There we go.
And again,
And the reason I don't include Candice in the 4 horsewomen tier of women's wrestlers discussion, it's not, once again, just like Britt Baker, it's not her fault. That's not Candice LeRae's fault.
no.
That's actually another Triple H failure in NXT is the fact that woman hasn't been NXT Women's Champion.
Now, to move on a little bit to the land of, we got 2 things left here today. To the land of NXT 2.0, where, folks,
Everybody's virgin apparently. What?
yeah.
What the fuck is up with this Brooks and Jensen thing?
Before we get to that though,
I'm not sure.
it's on Leroy's list. Jesse, your girl and my girl made the finals. They made the finals, Jesse.
I'm actually shocked.
This is going to be this is a very interesting
is gonna
final.
Be fun.
I really did think they were losing this week.
To Cora Jade and yeah.
Oh, so did I.
I'm like, yeah.
Oh no, sorry. That
It
was
was Cora
quarterfinal.
Jade.
Yeah,
It was Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez.
in the
who
semis.
barely suffered an injury.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the semis. I thought no, didn't they lose? No, yeah, because of the semis.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jesse, your boy Susie Q is.
She's wonderful, isn't she?
You know what? I get the gimmick. I understand it that I should be laughing my ass off and hate this. I don't hate this because she's wrestling better than some of the fucking people in AEW, and she's doing it in fucking footy pajamas.
I will propose to her while she wears the pajamas.
That's good. Yeah, it's a good plan.
I just have a thing for Asians. Here's the thing.
You do.
I really do.
And Dakota Kai's playing. Give Dakota the dictionary; she'll fucking sell it to you.
Yeah.
I love Dakota Kai.
I think people are finally appreciating why she was brought into NXT now, because it's just like there's something very special there.
The problem is that, and even Derek's from the lounge has come around to be a little angry about Dakota Kai. You have to let people understand, or you have to be willing to be open to the fact that, yeah, she was a badass.
Yeah.
But now it's time to do something a little different.
Right.
And she's still killing it.
Right.
See, I'm able to enjoy wrestling because I can look at what someone's doing right now and choose to hate it or like it.
Right.
What the Bucks are doing right now, sad that they were doing 15 years ago. Dakota Kai, right now, is making me believe this shit.
Right.
And I fucking love it.
Right.
Every time she's on camera, I'm just like, why are we not enjoying this?
Because she feels certifiably fucking insane.
She does.
So so yeah, first of all, I was shocked at the outcome.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, well, Raquel and Cora clearly are going to go to the finals. But that's not what happened. Cora Jade apparently just going to get a women's championship match at WrestleMania weekend.
Stand
I'm
and
cool with
deliver.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool. By the way,
Another AEW drop.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say, not just her. Thalia Hennessy is not the last name.
Henley. Fallon Henley.
Something like
Yeah.
that. She was on your roster for a year.
Yeah.
She worked within the factory for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And you just were like, not a talent we want to work with. Gets to NXT, and once again, like Cora Jade, shines.
You know, it's funny. And I'm not even joking. I think somebody who might be more over than Britt Baker if she debuts on NXT 2.0 might be Big Swole. With everything that's gone on, everything she's created for herself, if she randomly shows up in a WWE ring, in that moment, Jesse, maybe.
Like I said, before she was relegated to fucking dark and all that, she would have been number 1.
Yeah.
But she would have only really been number 1 because without her, I don't think the Britt Baker story was as good anyway.
Yeah.
Because she was like, as she said in the podcast, I wanted to work with someone. Me and Baker chose to work together, and we chose to try to tell a story that we can keep doing, even though she was hurt and trying to rehab and all that.
Yeah.
And that way, when we had the blow off match, it was something people really, really wanted to see. Mm-hmm. The problem was, Jesus, what a terrible first match that they tried to do with those two.
No, God.
But otherwise, yeah, Fallon Henley, Cora Jade, I can go on and on. But yeah, congrats to Dakota and Wendy Chu. Also, interestingly enough, NXT, what I found very, very interesting is like this weird ass dynamic with Dolph and Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
And because it's a really interesting thing, because remember, Bobby Roode, of course, was NXT champion for about 4 months. And
we've said before on the show, I think this is before you got here, he carried NXT through a weird period.
Yeah.
But he did such a good job
that
sadly was never. It was arguably the best work he ever did, and it probably won't be seen. I mean, it's available,
right?
But no one's probably gonna go searching and for it.
Which they should, because those takeover matches were wonderful.
Bobby was so good. He really
I mean, there's a reason where you watch him in TNA, people were like, "Yeah, that's the next Triple H." There's something about that guy.
Yeah.
It hasn't panned out yet, but yeah, he's special. But the dynamic of having Ziggler's back, and yet always looking at that championship.
Yep.
Like just bringing back memories of, I was a world champion here. Huh.
I ran this place.
Like I was the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then one of the bigger stories I love in NXT right now is why is this story between Carmelo and our boy To the Moon,
Cameron Grimes,
so fucking good? Like, it's so good. Like, he clearly deserves another title match.
Yeah.
But it's so good. And like, Cameron Grimes is an excellent babyface, including now that he kind of has a babyface now that he shaved.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Yeah. Well, it is, but
Slowly.
he cut his hair and he shaved the thing. I'm like, I guess not a bad idea. He looks like 10 years younger now. Trevor, I still can't believe they had Trevor Lee act like a fucking caveman in Impact for all those years. But yeah, this storyline is awesome. Carmelo Hayes is just so good.
Oh my God.
And then Trick Williams is hilarious.
Trick Williams is everything you want in a snarky management guy.
Right.
There we go.
Now, okay, people always get a little concerned about having the manager look in such good a shape.
Right.
But it fits the fact that somebody like that would be running with Carmelo versus somebody who would be like a Jim Cornette running with Carmelo.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right,
Robert Stone wouldn't be running with Carmelo. Trick would.
Right.
Trick Williams, like, I don't know if he's training to be a wrestler or if he's just going for the gimmick, but he's going to make money somewhere.
He had a match on last week's Level
Up? Okay, yeah.
Great match too.
He is going to make money in some way in this business, and there ain't nothing wrong with just making money as a mouthpiece right now.
Right.
And then Jesse, Kushida, and A-Kid was anything and everything I wanted it to be.
I needed more time.
You wanted more time?
I wanted more time.
I understand that. Yeah, good match.
As a pure wrestling fan, sometimes, especially sometimes, like I said, my love of Japanese wrestling will get the best of me because I'll see matches like this and I'm like, give me more time. Let them go 10 more minutes, please, 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 please. Let them go 10 more minutes.
Not a lot of false finishes.
No,
at least not. Okay, false finish. Define it. False finish from finishers is different than false finishes from a signature move / just move.
Yep.
Right.
Bucks, you put over Private Party without the signature. That was the problem. But anyway,
the super kick is their signature. What are you talking about?
they didn't even do that.
They did. Well, they did. No, what are you talking about? It's a Bucks match. They did that probably like 20 times.
True. But my point is this. This match, and I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but I felt it. I didn't come away from it missing anything.
Right. I
What
agree.
the f was that?
I don't know.
In the best way.
I know. Listen.
Kushida, if you were a guy who did that your whole career but never won anything, you'd still be a Hall of Famer in my fucking book.
Kushida is, like I've always said, he was probably outside of Hiroki, he was probably my favorite junior heavyweight.
And you're still mad that I saw him live.
Well, I hope you stub your toe on the way out of this house, but because I'm going to get to Orlando at some point, and hopefully it will be on the same night that he's got a match on like Level Up or something.
Yeah.
Because my dream is to watch him wrestle live, but
it's an experience.
He is so damn special. He's so good. I
don't know how WWE's gonna make this work. Before they're both too done to do it, just put Kushida and Rey and forget about the match. Rey Mysterio and Kushida for fucking 20 minutes.
That would be awesome.
What can't they do?
Babyface build it, have it at SummerSlam. There you guys go. There's your idea.
I did see this. Somebody posted this, and we'll have to discuss this on maybe a different time. Yeah. That supposedly somebody in WWE, they're saying that they believe NXT 2.0 is a failure because they're bringing down main roster talent to 2.0.
That was the whole idea of NXT, apparently.
That was the idea of NXT back in the fucking get-go. Right. Do people... Okay, this is where I get to speak. Do people not realize the original NXT that created fucking half the main roster right now was literally a place where Natalya went down there. Fucking Tyson Kidd, when he was still healthy, went down there. The main roster goes down there to teach you what you're supposed to fucking do.
Right.
You people cannot give me this fucking narrative that doesn't even fucking make sense. Because the original NXT, which you said was better than 2.0, was the same fucking thing.
Right.
It is.
The only reason why they didn't do it for a while was because Vince and the curmudgeon assholes were trying to introduce you to these characters without overshadowing them with bigger talent.
Right.
Once Braun got to a point where it's like, oh, you know who this guy is on fucking Tuesday nights.
Right.
Then you bring in a Dolph Ziggler. Then you can give Dolph Ziggler the shine. Because clearly, for those of you who are like, well, they don't like Braun. No, Braun was never meant to be there that long. That was the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the thing. They had to create an out to get him up.
Right.
That's all that was. But no, when Finn Balor was coming up, when Shinsuke first got here, when Sammy wasn't fucking mind genius he is gonna make this match work, and I don't fucking know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is gonna be probably my favorite thing on fucking Mania, but it is.
They changed the stipulation on that too.
I don't give it was never not gonna be something. Knoxville was gonna bring weapons in it no matter what, because Knoxville's a fucking human stunt double.
Right, really.
But here's the thing: you can't. Give me a fucking soapbox. You can't fucking tell me that they're unhappy with it when USA is clearly happy with it. They are okay with on Tuesday nights from 7 to 9 with it getting 600 to 680,000.
Right.
USA has said, we are okay with this.
Right.
But here's the deal. NXT, like, arguably if NXT got a Hall of Fame, the first 6 would be main roster people because they helped build the fucking thing.
Right.
Summer Rae, Natalya, first 6 people should be in their Hall of Fame.
Right.
Why? Because if you go back and watch the era, Summer Rae helped build that division.
Yes, she
That's
did.
why she was called a legend, because
Right.
ultimately her work was more building what there is now.
Right.
The 4 Horsewomen, oh, Summer Rae. That's
Yes.
not a fucking tagline.
Right. That's very true.
Natalya built that. And by the way, that bullshit that somebody made look like the real WWE that they released Shayna Baszler, clearly that didn't happen because she's going to WrestleMania.
By the way, it was Shayna Baszler. It was
Sheldon Benjamin.
And
I
Cedric
saw that too, and I'm like,
Yeah, Cedric
what
Alexander
the
was
fuck?
out there too. Yeah, it's
Look, by the way, a couple of names that ended up getting added to WrestleMania.
no. Here's the deal. NXT was built on Dusty Rhodes, Triple H, Natalya, fucking Randy Orton was down there for a bit. Like, main roster people were down there on the hour version that was on the network.
Right.
Go to Peacock. Go watch early NXT. They're there nightly.
Yeah.
Tyson Kidd helped build NXT.
They did.
When he and Cesaro